going to be talking with Beuaty and the Beast, and I'm not talking about Glenn and Sean. Just you're going to have to wait and see. It's Curtain Call with Erik
and the Beast. Oh, I wasn't even on.
You weren't even on. Sorry. You got to wait for the intro.
I am the intro.
Ow! And I'm stepping on my mic cord as I get set up here. Welcome to Curtain Call. This is Erik Ball. With me, as always, is Glenn Heath.
Hey, long time no see, Erik.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I mean, either you're here or I'm here. People were starting to think that you and I were two different people.
We'll put saloon doors on the joint. We'll be fine. We'll just come and go as we please, like buckaroos in the wind.
Or we may just start doing this show only at 10 o'clock at night.
I think maybe that's a better idea.
Well,
we're saying that.
I think the producers of the station think it's a better idea too.
Yeah, just so you guys know, we're probably going to be permanently moving Curtain Call to 10 to midnight every Sunday, which is really not that big of a deal because it's sexy times with Erik Ball, and that's just really, I don't know. Sean Critchfield's going to be joining us. He's probably listening in his car as he drives from that famed castle mecca that is Tournament of Kings. He's going to be walking through the door with the sweat and stench of King Arthur about him as he muddles through the piles of manure and dragon's blood on his way from whence he came. Anyways, welcome to Curtain Call. If you are just now tuning in, hoping to be a caller on the video game show that we just interrupted so that you can listen, I promise you this, we will have lots of games today because I found this really cool spin-to-win wheel. I don't know what it is, but it has like a dry erase board on it, and so I thought maybe, maybe we could make a little game or something out of this. And I already filled in two of the blanks on here. One of them is Call Kelly Burrows, and the other one is Call Codge, our man on the street. And you'll figure out why we're going to possibly, if this spinning wheel lands on it, why we'll be interrupting some very peaceful high school theater teacher sleep in a minute and talking to Kelly Burrows. But anyways, this is Curtain Call. We do this every week, and what it is basically a community theater talk show, and we want to, hopefully bring more awareness to what's going on in the Valley and what you could possibly do to support performing arts yourself and put butts in seats. Overall, that's what we're trying to do. And Glenn is still hooking up.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's a new third camera.
I feel like I'm
a new third camera.
Yeah, and I'm welcoming in the studio sitting. I didn't finish your name. I put Goldman. Justin Goldman. Justin Goldman, the technical director of Coronado High School's upcoming production of Disney's Beauty and the Beast. And we have Beuaty and the Beast with us today. We have C.J. Deike. I want to make sure I get it right. Yes?
Yes.
And Danica Richards. And so C.J. and Danica, the stars of the upcoming musical over here at Coronado, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Gotta make sure we swing that right in front of our pushes there so we can make sure we get everything. All right, well, yeah, listen, first and foremost, we need to talk, whenever we talk about Coronado High School, we have to talk about Evan Litt.
Yes.
Do we?
No, I get 5 cents royalty every time I mention his name on the air, so
I get
we have
stomach
to talk about
burn.
So a lot of people don't know that I had the privilege, and I say this in earnest and with a slight tongue-in-cheek, that I had the privilege of working with Evan Litt and Beauty and the Beast twice, actually. They extended the run when I did it out at Super Summer Theater, then through Signature Productions, and he was LeFou to my Gaston. Rather, it was more like I was Gaston to his LeFou, let me be honest here. And Evan Litt, if you are listening, you are a worldly talented individual, and I love your face. And on the way into the studio, I found this really cool scarf in the parking lot. Pretty nice, huh? That's all I gotta say. So let's talk about Beauty and the Beast. Now, you guys open this upcoming weekend, right?
Yes, we do.
All right, tell me about this journey. What is this your first show that you've done, or have you been in several shows? Let's start with Danica, which, by the way, great name.
Thank you. This is not my first show. It's my third musical at Coronado.
Excellent.
And then my 5th show at Coronado. And then I've been doing dancing and singing ever since I was a little girl.
Great. What other musicals have you done?
I was in Lucky Stiff my sophomore year. And then I was in Godspell.
Nice.
And then with a different, at Coronado Conservatory of the Arts, I was in Into the Woods, which was fun.
Another great show.
Yeah, that's it.
That's great. And so now you're a junior this year?
I'm a senior.
Oh, a senior. Excellent. Okay. Well, way to go out with a bang.
I know.
You know? I'm rooting for you too. I was thinking you were going, what would happen? And I hope I'm not spoiling anything. If you haven't seen Beauty and the Beast, you're living in the dark ages. But I'm just saying, at the end during the transformation scene, what would happen if the Beast just turned into a guy that looked like Gaston? Wouldn't that suck?
Yeah, that
I
would
was
throw
just
people
like,
off.
Or
talk about throwing off.
Gaston's son.
It's just like, Belle, I
Gaston.
tricked you this whole time. It was me.
Talk about a twist.
There they are. There's the pretty people. If you're just watching the YouTube video now in the future.
Wait a minute, do you have it on me? You said pretty.
Oh wait, now I have it on me
Oh, dang it.
and Justin. And
You're
the
going to
back-
wait until my...
And the back of your head. Yeah.
There it is.
There we go.
There we go.
Wait, there we go. It's fun with digital imagery.
Oh, Lord, here we are.
Okay.
We have a bell and a
Winner.
wheel. We're like a water slide away from a hat trick.
Put Ring the Bell on the Wheel of Terror.
Ring the bell?
Yeah,
Oh,
why not?
Let's put it on here. Ring the bell.
I think call Evan should be one of those.
Okay. Well,
Maybe call Mr. Cosby.
I'd say
as
call my
well.
daughter, but my ex would be pissed. So we won't do that.
yeah, maybe one of them should be. Then has to talk as Bill Cosby for the next 10 minutes. I like that.
Oh look, it's already on that
No.
color of the wheel.
Well, we already did it, so it's not very exciting anymore. So, anyways, so tell me.
As the show.
Yeah, right. We're so forward thinking in the show. We just kind of go everywhere. So we were talking about your role as Belle. How's this been different from other shows that you've done?
Oh, well, it's my first lead, which is a big deal, and, well, I've been the biggest Disney fan my entire life, and, like,
Oh, wow.
I have Belle dolls in my room ever since I was little. Like, this is my dream, so
That
it's,
is
like,
great.
the best thing ever for me.
Let me tell you.
And you're a senior this year?
Yeah.
It's a great.
So all your dreams will come crashing down.
I know,
After me.
after the show, I'm going to go into deep depression.
Why do you?
Glenn with the self-esteem boost.
His glasses.
Yo, unring that bell.
Well, that's great. Now, and it is a challenging show. We were talking before we went on the air about how, it's got a lot of considerations. Anybody who's done a show in general knows that there's many ends to the thing. There's the skill set demand that it demands of you as a performer. Then there's everything that technically an actor has to handle. You have to handle the costumes, you have to handle the set, you have to handle the changes and everything. But then you apply a dash of Disney to the thing, and all of a sudden you're dressing as cupboards and dancing forks, and you gotta look out because you have a 10-foot clearance now when you go through doorways. It's weird stuff. Now, has that kind of messed with your world? Or has it? Well, actually, it's probably been easier for you than Beastie over
Has
here.
it
Yeah,
messed
I'm
with
human the whole
your
time.
world?
Well, and he's yet to have any sort of head.
The prosthetic yet?
I've already sweated way too much, and I'm not even in costume yet, so I'm kind
Nice.
of freaking out.
Oh man.
Just wearing the mic is just too much.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Seven Mindoro, another good friend of mine who played Beast over it. I love the man. I love him. But when we got time to do our fight at the very end, homeboy was slippery. Homeboy was like, we would just pour. It was like an August show or something out there, so we would just pour sweat out there. And so, but you know what? It's just like it doesn't deserve to be on your face unless you sweat all over the place. That's what I gotta say.
New from Jack in the Box. Carl's
I just
Jr.
modified it accordingly. That was Carl's Jr., wasn't it?
Yes, I just did a recording session with Seven yesterday.
Really?
We did our recording for the drive. So.
Oh, I didn't know
it was,
Seven was involved in that.
Yeah. There was 13 of us, so
He was 7, 8, 9, 10.
he was number 7, ironically. Yeah.
Right. Well, cool. Now, CJ, how about you? Is this your first show?
This is my first overall actual show I've ever done.
What do you mean? Explain that.
Like-
I'm confused.
I've done short stuff, we do 10-minute plays at our school and stuff. I've
Oh,
been
okay.
in that, but this is my first overall year in theater and my first time auditioning for a musical before, so it was a really awesome process.
Let me tell you something. First full-length show, first lead. You two had to have made an impression at those auditions. That's all I gotta say. I mean, you guys are like, yes, well, yes. I mean, how do you? That's a loaded statement. I suppose.
I only Spin the wheel. Maybe we can call Kelly Burrows, and we can ask her.
We need to fill
Just fill all the rest of them up with Kelly Burrows, because I would like to know what she saw in these two that I haven't seen yet.
Okay, well let's think of other things that we can put. I'll tell you what, I'll put an arrow here, an arrow here.
There we go.
An arrow here, an arrow here.
All the
Who's
arrows pointing
Kosh?
towards Coleman.
Kosh?
Michael Klaus.
Michael Klaus.
That's thinking.
That's who I
And
have
just so you two don't look at me like, wow, that was totally rude. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Because Kelly would not have cast you if she didn't obviously see something special in the two of you. So, but there's got to be a lot of people auditioning for those roles. So
I remember when I did Beauty and the Beast at Faith, we affectionately referred to it as Belle Bath 2000 whatever.
Yeah.
Because it was really.
yeah, go to Legally Blonde auditions this summer.
Well, we had
That was my.
That's going to be this year.
Yeah.
we had 96 total students audition for
Wow.
the entire show, and then there
Wow,
was a
that's
dance
crazy.
workshop that they had to participate in before the audition that Evan came through and kind of
did he?
taught them. Yeah,
Wow.
taught them part of Be Our Guest. It's kind of like a.
Did he steal the choreography from the show that he did?
I don't
No,
know.
actually he didn't, because he's been going back to the videos of the
Good
some of the
Lord.
libraries
Oh wow.
and saying, okay, like now look, trying to give them an idea, because a lot of us, I know myself, Kelly, and Evan are all visual people, so
Oh,
like
yeah.
we would joke about it when I'm trying to sit there and tell them, okay, this is what the set will be doing, and they're like, well, we just have to see it, so build all these pieces first.
It's such a.
And if we don't like it,
I have to kind of deter a moment. When did you start working at Coronado?
This is my first consistent, everyday.
Okay, because I've known Justin as kind of like the I don't know what you call him, not a longshoreman, but just somebody
Freelancer,
who, yeah, who's here and there. It's like, hey, how you been? Oh, I'm good. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm
Oh,
doing
you're
that.
here.
Oh, you have a steady job. All right.
It didn't last long. It didn't. No.
Well, I'm just saying it must be that you're growing up.
Well, and that's something else. Like, and the first time we met had to have been Sheer Madness. Is that?
I
Sheer
wasn't in
Madness?
Sheer Madness,
Did
but
you know
were
I
you helping
auditioned
out with the free beer show?
Free beer.
I auditioned
yeah.
for Sheer Madness.
Free beer. I was around for
I'm
that.
always saying I auditioned for something and I wasn't in it. That's weird. I gotta stop talking to them.
Oh no.
I remember auditioning for Rock of Ages.
or
Not in that either.
Or Eric, just do what I do. Don't audition. Just wait till somebody drops,
Yeah, 'cause
and then they'll call you up.
Speaking of, welcome to Urinetown.
Mr. Heath, the swing.
I will
The
take
situation's kind of pissy, but hey, welcome.
I will take utility player, because it's one of those things where if they're calling me, hey, we need you to step in. Either A, I'm good enough to where I'm not going to screw up the show, or B, or A.
Oh no, take it as a compliment.
B,
Take it
they're
as a
really,
compliment.
really desperate, and everybody said no.
You were sitting next to him with an arm's reach.
Well, no. There is some point of that where it's just like, no, you got to be crazy. You're going to learn Sweeney Todd in 2 weeks? Sure, go right ahead, Glenn. That's great.
I'm really upset
No
I
problem.
didn't see that. I saw
So am I.
Chris Mays, and I wanted.
You know what? It was a fun show. I'm sorry you missed it. That's one that I'm sorry that people missed. Every other show, I really don't care.
Well, I'm waiting for it to come back again, because it's one of those shows that everyone is still talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fantastic experience. So yeah,
Well, and
just let's not talk about Eric and myself anymore.
I didn't know that we were. Okay. Myself, anyways. I know we were talking about Sweeney Todd. And
Well, we were talking about all your auditions for strip shows and.
Wait, you're
no,
stripping?
no, wait a
Oh,
minute.
gosh,
Clarify
oh,
that, please. I wasn't.
I don't
we
think
were for
Emily
strip
was talking-
shows. Yeah. My wife's going, wait a minute. What?
He's stripping again.
That's where he was yesterday. Thought he said he was watching the car.
Sheer madness.
Anyways, Beauty and the Beast. So we opened Coronado High School's Beauty and the Beast April 24th, which is right around the corner.
Yeah. We
And it goes until May 3rd.
Well, yeah, we're the 24th to the 27th.
Is that a Wednesday or a Thursday?
Yeah, Wednesday to Saturday.
Yeah.
And on the 27th, that Saturday, we also have a matinee at 1 p.m.
Oh, you're doing double
So
shows
you-
that day? Okay.
Only on Saturday, so it's a 6 p.m. showtime, the 24th to the 27th.
The sigh of
And then
do
Saturday
I
we
stay in
Pedialyte,
costume the
Pedialyte,
whole
Pedialyte.
day?
We have a 1 p.m. matinee.
Yeah.
But then we also have we do shortened show for a
Oh,
couple
cool.
of the middle schools
very cool.
around. So they come to elementary schools,
That's
not
very
middle
cool.
schools, elementary schools.
And you take the show to them, or they bus in?
I'm so glad that they bus in because I'll show you guys pictures. The listeners at home will be able to.
Well, you can. If
two-story
you've got
wagons
pictures on,
and-
because I think you guys posted some pictures on Facebook, didn't you?
I did not. If somebody's posting pictures, I need to.
I saw a few upside down things, so I didn't know.
Uh-oh.
Well, Justin's weird that way.
And
I
if-
don't know.
Well, and if people want to get
backwards.
tickets, here's the thing that I found out when I was doing Beauty and the Beast, is that this show sells. People want to see the show. I don't care what age you are, people love this show. And I don't care if you've seen it a million times, people want to see it again because how you do it is just as interesting as what you're doing. And so my high recommendation, if you're listening and you're interested in catching Coronado's Beauty and the Beast, you need to go to showtix4u.com. That's showtix, T-I-X, the number 4, the letter U.com. Showtix for you. Just put in Coronado High School, Beauty and the Beast, or I think you could just put in Coronado High School and it'll pop up there.
That looks great.
But yeah, I mean, it's a if you're very unfamiliar, it's a very high spectacle show, and I've been, you know, Kelly Rose is a colleague of mine, so we've been kind of going back and forth. So I kind of have an inside scoop as to the set and the costumes and everything. It's gonna be a fantastic
and Justin's
show.
showing me some of the set pictures here, and it does
Yes,
look
sir.
fantastic. I missed it both times when it was at the ranch and the Summerlin Library. It's going to be at Smith Center at some point, but
Actually,
Yeah.
the weekend
This-
Yeah.
is it the same week?
after we open.
Awesome! I'm going to see it twice.
We open. So this weekend it
So
should.
here's my selling point. Do you know how much Smith Center tickets are?
Yeah.
Not nearly as affordable as the Coronado High School ones are. I don't know if that was good or bad,
Well, no, it's
but
there's a difference between. And I don't want to say local shows, but a production where you guys are putting a lot of effort and
yeah.
energy and passion into the show, and not to say that the actors that are on tour don't, but for them it's more of a job.
It's a routine.
Whereas this is still,
oh, let's make it
passion.
more fun than that. Coronado's Gaston challenges the Smith Center Gaston to a duel. Bring it.
to see
Bring
which
it.
one can expectorate farther.
Yeah, who's the better expectorator and who can decorate with antlers better? Who can-
Dum dum.
I'd be very excited. Well, listen, let's do a real quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back. We're here with C.J. and Danica and Justin from Coronado High School's upcoming production of Disney's Beauty and the Beast. Hang tight, we'll talk some
I
more.
was going to say you could put whichever stinger on the wheel, and whichever stinger it rolls onto, that's the one you have to
I don't
press.
want to. We'll be right back.
Robert Reeves.
And now you can swear.
Oh. That'd be hilarious.
The Big Dogs one doesn't
Actually
work.
walks in,
What's
he's
that?
like, I heard
The
you
Big
want
Dogs commercial doesn't work anymore.
There's one of them that's got like a 2-second gap,
Oh, I like that one. 'cause it
which
barks.
I fear because it's always like dead air, but it's 10 o'clock, so.
I appreciate the growing up comment. That's not sarcasm, I was being serious. Because I've been getting that a lot lately. 'Cause
That
a
you're
lot
drunk?
yeah, like, put my big kid pants on. Terrence has said it a lot too.
Well,
like,
it's something that you eventually have to do, and you've got a daughter that you have to do.
big shit forward and all that nonsense. So.
Hey, listen, let's do something like this. Back a while ago when you guys did Susical and we were doing Susical, we kind of did this thing where we brought all of our cast to go see yours and you brought your cast to see ours. Let's do that again. Let's take Legally Blonde to go see you and you guys can see Legally Blonde. Let's do that. I would love that.
Engagement is so beautiful. Like
Oh.
that
You guys
theater.
are the weekend after we open, right?
We're the
So
first
you're
and
like-
second weekends in May. Yeah.
So then we could all come the second.
Second weekend.
Right.
You aren't having any, or do you have Saturday matinees?
No, we only have Sunday matinees.
Oh, you do have Sunday matinees,
Yes.
so I can see Legally Blonde.
Yes.
Because
And
you're in
it's
town is the
really
same.
good. Huh?
Did you find your new dog?
Do you know he's not really missing?
Oh, I didn't know that.
You know,
Apparently you
here's
weren't
the thing.
watching the show 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, here's the thing. We did this meeting. I got this brilliant idea. Okay, how can we create buzz? Because I come from a marketing background, right? So it's not just about hanging posters. You got to create talk. Even people who have no desire to come see Legally Blonde, I want them at least talking about it.
Yeah.
And so There we go. There it is. And so what we did is we had a press conference and said that the dog that we're using for Bruiser went missing during rehearsal one day. And we hung up lost dog posters. We made a website, lostbruiser.com.
No, that's why I was like, this can't be a joke. Who would go this far? Erik Ball.
We had like 6th grade students, parents emailing me saying, "What can we do now?"
Oh no!
And I'm going, "Just keep your eyes open." And I'm going. And so, and then we had,
backfired.
and then the Bigfoot Hunter
ASPCA,
series, where we had like a bunch of students be Bruiser Hunters. We made a commercial, they're Bruiser Hunters, and we're doing another one where we were having Bruiser auditions, to recast.
I saw that one.
Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
And
Go back and look at it.
anyways, it's
Well,
a viral
apparently you haven't
media
been watching the
campaign.
YouTube
So will Bruiser be found by opening
to
that?
learn
You'll have
that
to wait.
this is
I'm
all
like
been fake.
2 weeks
Oh,
behind.
smart.
See what I'm doing
Yeah.
there?
I know, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
All right, 30 seconds, y'all.
Yeah, I was worried that
It is here.
when I realized the performance schedule for Urinetown, I was like, crap, Eric's gonna be pissed.
Oh no, believe me, dude.
So you have. Oh my
I've
god.
made it to your stuff more than you've not made it to my
I
stuff.
love Betty White. You gotta get her on the show.
Here we
Work
go.
that out.
If you'd watched we had her on.
That is right.
I told my girlfriend she's my celebrity crush.
Really?
Hey, welcome back. And we're sitting in an extremely hot studio. I think they turned the air off around noon. Woo! It's warm in here. But that's okay. If you hear that buzzing in the background, that's Glenn humming because he's so excited that the fan's going. But we're sitting here with C.J, Danica, and Justin from Coronado High School. They're looking forward to offering you a tale as old as time with Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
Song as old as well.
Yeah, it's coming up. You should do it as Mrs. Potts. You should write you. Tale as old
as time, song as old as my hair.
I would go and see Bill Cosby as Mrs.
I
Potts.
just saw him on
Beauty and the Cause.
Beauty. Cosby and the Beast.
And the
Nothing. I get nothing for that. Dang it. Where's
You
the
get a
bell?
lawsuit of cease and desist.
No, you keep the bells. More for him than me. Okay. Well, listen, let's talk about now. We were talking before we went on commercial break there about how the audition was quite ponderous because there were over 90 students audition and it was,
What was the percentage of male to female? Because sorry, there's usually more females that audition for theater, and there's more male roles. So
And because of the Mr. Lit there, that's why they had the dance workshop before to kind of
market it too.
give people the idea of how dance heavy the show, not dance
Clever.
heavy the show is, but how.
What to expect.
Yeah.
It's kind of clever because then people who are maybe on the fence about auditioning, they can kind of warm up to it
Yeah.
a little bit, because it's kind of ponderous to kind of go into an audition if you haven't before going,
I'm just surprised Evan Litt is that big of a draw.
oh, I don't know. We should put Carl Evan.
Now, didn't he go to LVA?
He
Yeah,
did,
okay.
yeah, they just did that LVA alumni thing that they were all there for, Kelly and Edwin.
So let's go back in time for a second here, because I'm not sure how Mrs. Burroughs over at Coronado does the whole cast list thing, but did you have callbacks?
Yes,
Okay.
they were
Yeah.
called.
Callbacks? Okay, so...
She likes to mess with the
Oh
kids
my
too.
God.
It
Oh
was
no, that's
such.
that's the only
awesome.
reason we go into high school
That's-
theater.
that's-
Did she go down the line and go?
I don't
You may
blame
stay,
her one
go,
bit.
go,
Might as well.
take a step backward.
Does she put her dark rimmed glasses on and go, "You are the weakest link. Goodbye"? No, it's just
No, she put up a fake cast list, didn't she?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
She
Awesome.
did put up the fake cast list.
With names that no one had ever heard of.
Yeah.
you gotta be kidding
That's
me.
great.
I've never done that. I'm so stealing that. Wait a minute. What happened? Explain. It was like fake names.
Yeah, and then she put up a real cast list, but she didn't give out any roles yet.
So she
Just who was in the
So-
show.
Just who was in the show to
We
kind of
knew
avoid
if we
the
made it, but we
drama.
didn't know what role we had, and then we were in a circle, and then she would announce it in front of everyone. It was terrifying.
Did she leave like Chip and Beauty
Well, she
or Belle at
actually-
till the very end?
Yeah.
This is gonna show how mean if she was being mean or not. Did she leave Belle and Beast to the end?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
Oh my
awesome.
God.
Well,
It's
and
coming
she
so
left
fast.
Belle, so obviously, but she left Belle in wardrobe
Oh, yeah.
because they were both called back for Belle.
Oh,
we were
boy.
like the top 2, and so.
So wait. The second. I don't even know what you call them. So you got the role, and the person that didn't
Right.
is doing wardrobe.
Well,
was
doing
was.
wardrobe until she dropped the show. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had a conflict.
So-
now someone got moved up and.
Okay. But that was the choice, Belle or wardrobe.
Well, because they had both got called back for both. Like, the wheels were turning
Let's call it
from the
what it is.
beginning.
Wait, you
They
get
have
called.
to
You
go on the
get
booth.
called back for wardrobe.
I didn't get.
I don't understand high school
we're
anymore.
not talking tech crew here. We're talking about the wardrobe, the singing wardrobe. Madame Delagrande Bouche.
Wardrobe.
Gotcha.
Like I said, I haven't seen the show. But, oh yeah, the closet.
Yeah, the Dagamo armoire.
Armoire.
I want to be the armoire.
I was lost. I didn't know what the
It took
confusion
me a
was.
minute. I was like, oh, wait a minute. He thinks it's tech crew or something. Oh, wow.
But
Okay,
it was
so
good.
It was so
good.
scary.
I bet you walked away with a few white hairs after that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's crazy.
So,
But
yeah.
now, how's it been throughout rehearsals? Have people kind of really embraced the ensemble? Because it really is an ensemble effort, that show.
Everyone's so close. This is the closest ensemble I've ever had. I mean, we were having 6 rehearsals a week. I mean, we had a rehearsal till 9 o'clock at night. So you were like forced
Sure.
to be close.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so fun.
And how about you, this being your first big show? What's it been like for you?
I really like the ensemble actually because like they're so like they like help me out so much and like they're just so nice.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just
It's kind of
it was
ironic. He
amazing.
plays the Beast, and the ensemble's really nice, but in the show, they really hate him.
Yeah.
They have pitchforks.
I'm pretty
and
sure
And what's even more ironic is that in the future he'll hate being in the ensemble.
you know, that's arguable.
Just- I mean-
it's arguable. No, but that's fantastic. Now, have there been any horror stories? That's what I always like to ask about the rehearsal process. Have you ever, like, I don't know, swallowed a moth? Or,
Oh,
you know,
I
or
heard about that.
we were talking earlier about how I swallowed a moth.
I think I almost lost it this past Saturday rehearsal because we were doing the transition and at one point an extension from one side of the stage comes down stage spinning.
Oh.
And the techies are still trying to get the timing down.
Did you almost kill Mrs. Potts?
I did not almost kill anyone, but 2 technicians, if they're listening, Kimmy and Michael, almost did kill the Beast.
Oh, no.
And could have ended the show.
They'll be sitting there going, that's not how I remember it.
I saw that
Falling off the
at
platform.
UNLV when they were doing Noises Off.
Yeah.
They were doing the second to third act, and they lifted the curtain to show us how they separated.
Uh-huh.
And a friend of mine who was stage managing was up on the second level, and they split the building right as she was stepping in between. And it was just like the entire audience was like,
You could hear a collective.
and then they did that again when she swore on stage.
You know, it's not good theater unless there's a fear of death somewhere.
This is very
along the
true.
lines.
Yeah.
This is very true. I never really appreciated tech until I fell out of the lift at Super Summer Theater. That was a good
No,
character
good
building
times.
experience.
Never felt so close to Spider-Man in your life, did you?
There you go.
There you go. Well, that's awesome. Listen, if you're just now tuning in, we're talking with C.J. Deike and Technical Director Justin Goldman from Coronado High School's upcoming production of Disney's Beauty and the Beast opening April 24th. If you are interested in getting tickets, and I'm just saying this from past experience, they're going to sell tickets like hotcakes because Beauty and the Beast sells, and Coronado High School has a fantastic theater program run by a fantastic theater teacher, so this is a show that you're not going to want to miss. Get your tickets early. Get online, show tickets for you. I'm sure they're not terribly expensive. How much are we talking? I can't read it.
General admission is $8.
Oh, geez.
$8?
And simmer down.
Okay,
I
now.
know it's a recession and all, but relax. The thrift shop
laid it
over
in.
here. $8 for general admission on show ticks, 10 at the door, $10 for assigned seating,
Oh, fantastic.
and then 12 at the door. Assigned seating would block up the first 8 rows. But it's
That's
a really
called the Beast Spit Zone.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
what that is.
Splash
Or no, the
zone.
Gaston Spit Zone,
Yeah.
expectorating zone. You should expectorate a lot. There's that.
You
Look,
should
we have a wheel.
you should
Sean.
expectorate a lot from the show.
So we need to help. You need to help me fill the rest of the thing. Anyway, Sean Critchfield just walked in, and he looks like he has been browbeaten with Excalibur. Are you okay? It's been a long day.
It's been a real good.
It's
It's been a very long day. On top of that, I just completed the 48-hour film festival.
That's right.
So it's been a non-stop last 2 days.
Which
for me.
group did you have the privilege of working with?
I was working with Late Night Pizza Productions. We got Buddy Film, and it turned out pretty good. So, is this wheel for all of us to spin?
I don't know. We haven't got on there yet.
I feel like there's a reason why he asked that.
Oh, there is. Oh, there is. Is it for the hosts? Is this?
I think we should let the guests spin them for the hosts.
But each of us are gonna get like.
Depends on how delusional you are writing things on.
Well, no.
the
The
wheel.
reason why is because I actually went to high school with Kelly and Evan, and my senior project was tracers, and Evan helped me do that. So I have dirt on both of them,
Ooh,
and we could throw
just
on the
dirt
wheel.
on
Yeah.
We could write. We could that I could
Let's
tell
do
you
it.
guys
Yeah.
the
I'm all
story
about that.
Oh, Kelly. And
during
Evan are
commercial
listening.
break.
That's all I gotta
During
say.
commercial
Do it.
break.
Okay.
And then if we determine that the stories are suitable for the airwaves, then maybe we'll.
Wait, I think
Yeah.
she's texting me.
It's sheer panic. I
Tell him to
didn't
shut
know
up.
that. I didn't,
Tell him I have dirt.
send-
I don't, but tell him I
I
have
didn't
dirt.
know you
Tell
could
him that
make
the
a
pony
phone.
was unharmed. It was unharmed.
I didn't know you could make a phone buzz with more urgency. There was emotion. The phone was emoting.
It's true. It's true. Okay, well now let's do this. Let's give a shout out to your fellow castmates. Can you tell me who is playing who in our principal roles? Because we know that Danica is playing Belle and CJ's playing Beast, and we never really know who's.
Justin's bringing up the cast
I'm
list.
trying to focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way we can give a shout out. And
Well, if we're doing shoutouts, I would like to say, you know, if you have any interest to come out and see the show, which you should, the sets alone are only student built.
awesome.
Like there is, only the students build them. I design them, but I try and avoid building things as much as I can. Just
You
so
avoid
that
Is that a liability issue?
Yeah,
labor
pretty
thing.
much.
It's really.
Is
Yeah, I
that
don't
really?
know.
That's the slogan for the show. Come for the students, stay for the set.
Yeah, well,
It'll transform you.
Heyo, heyo.
Here's the bell. Hit it. Thank you.
but
nice.
also
If you fail at Coronado, you can come back and be our bell ringer.
Bellboy.
Yes.
Bellboy. But also we have to say thank you so much to Phil and
Phil Shelburne, yeah.
and
Oh my God.
PSFX Productions for donating as much as they did. They donated all of. I mean, we got props. We've got everything.
Chair.
The Gaston's chair. We've got So it's just
So he still had everything.
yes, he
Yeah.
still does.
He's a hoarder.
I'm pretty sure there's a camel in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
That's an episode I'd watch.
Theater hoarders.
Wait a minute. I don't have internet.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, but we need to keep talking. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm
this
sorry.
Is, this
So-
is live radio, so.
I have an Android, so I'm sorry.
Oh no,
So-
that's fine. I could look
So
it up, but
the-
I don't have access to your set list.
So the cast list there, obviously C.J. Deike as the Beast and Danica Richards as Belle.
Then we have Kevin West as Gaston,
We got Tristan Turner playing LeFou.
Kevin Dort as Lumiere,
Elijah Oliver, which is like, he's my favorite character, Cogsworth.
Izzy Catu as Babette, Babette, whatever.
Yeah, just sweep that under the rug.
She wears all.
Because she's a duster. That's what I'm just gonna stand in the corner here.
The dust.
It was better than what I had. She just wears the stuff from Bebe.
Only. Yeah. Go on. I'm sorry. We
so
get
glad I don't
sidetracked
have a
from
microphone
time to
right
time.
And then Madame de la Grande de Bouche is Amy Lewandowski. The wardrobe. Yeah.
The wardrobe.
The wardrobe. The personality.
Miss Burroughs' little daughter, Maya, is going to be playing Chip, along with the vocal director, Mr. Fleischer's daughters, also going to be playing Chip, so it's really cute.
So you have
yeah.
two chips.
Chips
Two
squared.
chips.
And Julia.
Chips
Julia
ahoy.
Fleischer is
Julia, yeah.
Well, that's you know something, and that kind of fleshes out most of the principles.
Right.
There's a whole ensemble of very talented students that flesh out the rest of the
Because you've
ensemble.
got townsfolk and you've got silverware.
Silly girl.
We affectionately referred to different classifications. We had the flatware, and then we had the junk drawer. And the junk drawer were the enchanted objects that were like the cheese grater and the wine
screw, yeah.
And it's like, and so we had like different families of enchanted objects. We had the flatware, we had the
Kind of
junk
like
drawer.
the Jets and the Sharks, really.
Yeah, it really was.
I hope not.
And then the knife comes out.
When you're a fork, you're a fork.
Wow. Anyway, so
He's just gonna hold a little bit.
now you wanted to mention something about Belle and Beast. He has to grapple for the microphone because we're sharing.
Yes. We're sending the microphone back and forth, so it's going to be interesting because this might lead into some questions. But I had the pleasure of watching you guys at Master of the House.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to say that I'm a local actor, local director, and so I think that my opinion carries at least a modicum of weight, not
the
much,
belch. Hit it.
but the slightest bit. I guess what I'm saying more than anything is that this is coming from an informed place, and I was sitting with Troy Hurd, who's one of the directors that I respect the most in Las Vegas, and we were watching the performances, and afterwards we kind of went through and we talked about what we liked about each thing, and we talked about what we didn't like about each thing, and the one thing that I wanted to tell you guys is that out of everyone, all of the schools, every performance, the thing that we could not stop talking about your performance was how much heart you guys have and how much you love what you do. And that came through like a giant light on stage, and it was amazing just to watch that. And that's one of the things that I look for as a director. It's like when I hold auditions, one of the first things I say is that if you want to know the secret, I'll tell you the secret to getting cast by me right now. Love what you do. Get up and enjoy what you do, and if you do that, it's over for
Now,
me.
C.J. Danica, were you guys part of the Master of the House?
I heard they were in the audience rooting them
Yes,
on.
they were.
Okay.
They did
Because they did the number Gaston in the tavern
Yeah.
for Master of the House, and I just want to kind of reiterate what Sean said. I was backstage, and we had these little monitors backstage, and I was watching the number on the monitor, and I had to come around and watch it from backstage in the wings because it was like I don't know, it kind of was compelling. I needed to see it with my own eyes. I didn't want to see it in the monitor. And
Sometimes
speaks
like there's in a celebration like what that scene was. Everyone starts cheering and rawing. It can come across as manufactured, especially when you guys were doing a lot of the choreography you did, where there was things were timed and specific. And no spoilers, go see it and you'll understand. Okay, she said it. The cups. So anyway, but yeah, and it was really great. And sometimes that sense of play can get lost in the specificity of what you have to do for the blocking. And what I loved about what you guys did was that you were truly celebrating, and it was truly fun. And so if you could please take that back to your cast for me, that was the one that like I had the biggest smile on my face for your guys' performance. So it was really nice. By the way, all of the kids were amazing. All of the performances were amazing. All of them had their strengths, and I felt that was really your guys'.
Well, and I have to say, like, I think that's one of the things that I enjoy most about being at Coronado is that it's not, I don't want to say a typical high school, but every director is different. They focus on different things, and I know that Kelly Burroughs, she kind of lets them decide where they're going and makes them, or I guess pushes them to develop the depth of their character. Why is it, why is your character doing this? Why are they here? That was the first time we ran that number. Obviously, it didn't look anything like it, but I mean, and Evan was the same way, you know, like, why are you guys here? What are you doing? I mean, at one point we had this kid, like, cha-chaing on stage, and Evan was like,
I just got that
that's
on
not
video,
what
by the way.
drunk people do. You like that?
Yeah, that's great.
That's not how drunk people act.
That's not how drunk... I've seen...
Well, that's probably a good sign that the student didn't know, or either or such a brilliant student that did something counter.
That's really funny.
But I mean, the depth that all these kids go before they even get on stage. I mean, during class, they do performances and such with monologues and songs, and the depth that they go to just develop their character. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, and that's a sign of a good educator.
I would argue.
And that's something I've seen from you, Eric, as well. And I've never had the pleasure of meeting Kelly, so she's just random, but yeah, there's people I've never met. I finally just met Joy DeMaine last Friday.
Us theater teachers, we live in the shadows.
Yeah.
We're like ninjas.
You guys are constantly
It's always
using
something.
your skills and helping your students, and you doing at least 2 shows a year. So when would I see these people? You know,
Well, and here's the thing. I'm just going to say that the way that it's an extremely hard show to do, Beauty and the Beast. It is no light undertaking. There's very, very little that you can do to do that show simply. Even if you stripped it down to its barest form, it's still complicated in its nature. So it's kind
on
of
both ends. Of
Oh
the show.
yeah. So it's kind of it's a huge undertaking. So I applaud the huge undertaking at the very beginning before you even buy the tickets. So with that said,
and you're referring to the technical aspect as well as the
storytelling
music and the story.
So it's kind of like and knowing what Kelly does over there, and knowing some of her students, and knowing having worked side by side with them, it's kind of interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how they bring their own perspective to this story, because that's what it all comes down to. It's just telling a great story. That's why people come back and see it. We want to see how you guys are going to do it.
That's so funny because I was waiting to ask you guys a question, and it piggybacks off of that exactly. It was exactly the same
we are
thought.
connected by the mind.
Yes, absolutely.
Sean.
We actually
and if you could see under the table,
and at any given point in time, he either has the right or the left hemisphere, and I have the opposite. So one of us is always creative,
And I'm the
one of us is
super
always
ego.
logical, and
Mostly it's him being logical.
Yes, and on this show, definitely. I'm always handed the logical half on this show. With these two, someone has to compete.
I get to push buttons and pretend like I'm doing something, creative.
He's like the chimp in the Russian spaceship.
You're the
Push buttons.
Russians.
Never mind.
No, that's fine because
We're all waiting for your reaction. It was awesome.
I was like, no, I'd rather be the chimp with the Samsonite bag.
Okay, well there you go. So back to Beauty and the Beast. Piggybacking off of that, that's one of the things that's always fun for me as an actor is like, how am I going to do this different than what's done? And it all stems back to Karen McKinney at Rainbow Company, who I played Cowardly Lion for her. And go ahead and say it, Eric. Every time I say it, he goes, I played the Cowardly Lion too. So we have to
It's
have
very
that moment.
exciting.
Yeah. And she came up to me and she said, Sean, in your wildest dreams, you will never be Bert Lahr. So don't do Bert Lahr. Do your own lion. And it was like shackles being taken off of me. I didn't have to do the put 'em up,
I was going to say you might want to explain to the kids who.
Bert Lahr was the original Cowardly
The guy in the movie.
I'm sure they've done the Pink
Bert
Floyd
Lahr
thing.
and I, we did the vaudeville together.
I'm sure they've done the Pink Floyd thing. So anyway, what are you bringing to these characters? That's what I would like to know.
Oh, yeah.
How are you approaching these characters that you would say is different from either seeing it, the musical, or the even the cartoon?
Because there's a little bit, and I'm going to interject here before you answer, because there's got to be a little bit, you have to tip your hat to the story. Like, if you don't come out in a blue dress or a yellow dress at that one moment,
Right.
they're going to revolt. I mean, because that's what Belle does right there, But how is your Belle different? How is your Beast different?
That's a big question.
Yeah.
Well,
ladies first.
and why they think here, it's coming to see this show, like Glenn had also mentioned, it's opening at the Smith Center. They're not touring actors. I mean, our age range is 14 to 18 in the show. So
Which I would argue is kind of a amazing fact. When you see them act, it's like, oh, are you kidding me?
I challenge you to try and tell who is 14 and who is 18.
Yeah.
I can't. I have a child.
Okay, touche, good sir, touche.
Sorry, did that sound too creepy when I first said it?
Before you clarify, we all kind of went, monkey? Monkey?
No, I have a 15-year-old daughter, so I know exactly.
And I mean, and the thing that's fun, getting back to the question, the thing that's fun is that, this is a legend, a tale as old as time, if you will. And it's something that, that the story existed long before the musical ever, arose. So what they did with it was their interpretation of it. So it's just funny, it gets very meta.
Well, and I'm wondering the same thing, because I was going to piggyback off of your question, Sean, as to whether or not, did you guys read alternate versions of the tale? And did you get different things out of the old stories? Because there's a lot more, to be had in a child's fairy tale that's written out in, in fiction.
The endings of the fairy tales are usually
because the witch
different.
eats the kids at the end.
And in Beauty and the Beast, and I may not be correct on this entirely, but I believe that in the end of the actual story, the Beast dies, and the curse is never broken. He saves her, and she's left with the mirror so that she can look into to always remember them.
Yep. The last petal
Yep.
falls,
That's it, yeah.
and the Beast dies.
And she has the mirror, and that so she looks back on those times by
She has
looking into the
wicked
enchanted mirror.
stepsisters. It's a
So
weird.
She marries
anyway,
Gaston.
So let's get specific on our question and let you guys answer it. So, how did you prepare, and how is what you're doing different than what you've seen before?
Well, I'll start with a different question.
Okay.
So I told Erik Ball earlier that I've been the biggest Disney fan, especially Beauty and the Beast. It's my all-time favorite Disney movie. I could say that movie frontward, backward, everything. So that's been like a struggle for me, not making this character exactly like the movie.
Right.
And so I found myself like in rehearsals being very robotic with Belle, like exactly how the movie does it. And so I really want to bring Belle just like a real being. I don't know if I'm making sense.
No,
but
that's
flesh and
honest.
blood.
like
That's-
real
yeah, that's
emotion
great.
and just like Miss Burroughs was saying
Three-dimensional.
Exactly. And like Miss Burroughs was saying that there's like specific moments where Belle changes. And I really want to focus on that and just not have Belle be exactly like the movie or exactly like the musical. I don't know.
Because otherwise,
well,
when
that's
you
great.
sing the song "A Change in Me," that's when you discover you've been
Right.
changed. So there's got to be changing moments before you get some.
Well,
I-
song.
Well, and I'm wondering.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But even more important then to have you make a specific choice as to
Right.
when you are changing.
I
That's-
say the
that's
line
a-
like
I think
I
that
see the
answers
whole
both
world
of our
differently.
criteria.
I think it
How
does.
she
And here's the
probably-
thing, it's
They
interesting.
can't hear me.
Yep.
And I think that answers. I think that answer answers both of our criteria.
Right.
You're preparing by really getting invested in what her journey is, and then letting that journey inform the character. I think that's fantastic.
And I think it's interesting that
I think-
she's changing, and Beast is the only one who wants to change. It
There's-
never does. Wow.
There's very few times
You
that
know,
I say that
philosophical.
like someone's approach is correct, because I think that any choice is correct. Some are just more correct, But I think that come on, that's got to be the right way to do it,
That's very.
Well,
was that
And now
hard
the
for you to do?
pressure's on.
Beast.
Like a real person.
Well, I'm wondering,
Yeah.
real quick, because I've never read the fairy tale itself, and I'm just wondering because in the Disney-fied version, and Disney will do that, is that they will take a character and make it two-dimensional and make Belle very naive and childlike.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, she's reading all these books. She's very learned. She's got to be smarter than that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, one of the reasons why she's my favorite princess, this is gonna sound so like kid-like, but I feel like she's more three-dimensional than other like
I agree with you.
Cinderella or Sleeping Snow White,
Yeah.
especially.
Sleeping
So
Beauty, she was kind of lame. She just
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that most of the other Disney princesses are waiting for a prince to come save them.
Right.
And
Yeah.
this is a girl who's like, I'm not interested in that.
From
I would
second
rather,
one, she's like, I want to get
She's
out of here.
independent.
Yeah,
I
and
know.
that's really a great observation. So those are brilliant answers. It'd be tough to follow. I'm glad that I don't have to answer those questions.
One of my favorite notes that I've ever been given, ever. And I love this note because anytime I get into
Was this one you were given last week?
No. No. This is one that I was given a long time ago, and I've heard you say it before to somebody else. And it is one of the best notes I could ever utilize, especially when I'm having a hard time figuring out a moment for my character. And the note was, try to find a way to make your character suffer more. Okay, and the reason why is because good storytelling comes out of conflict. And it comes out of a character's struggle through that conflict. And if you have a hard time figuring out what to do in the moment, if you make your character suffer more, even to the smallest degree to the largest degree as you're in the moment or in the big storytelling moment, big picture, it's more entertaining for an audience to watch. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, because they want to have you succeed, or they want the bad guy to lose, or they want this character to
The audience is
somehow-
more invested
yeah.
in it.
Yeah, and I love that about it. And let me tell you, talk about a character that goes through an awful lot of suffering
Right.
throughout the show. I mean, and we're rooting for you moment one, you know? It's like when you get that book that's given to you at the beginning, we're like, great, now read it, it's your guide, explore the world.
And then Gaston takes it away.
And Gaston takes it away and you're like, jerk! And you're like, come back here with that guide. This guide to Belle's guide.
How crazy would you be if all of a sudden all these things started talking to you? These inanimate objects just came out of nowhere.
Right.
I mean, if I had a candelabra come after me, lit, and not Evan lit, I'd run screaming from that too. But
it's true though. I mean, it is what it is. But at the very end of the day, it's still a story about a struggle. And everybody can identify with that, and that's kind of what's cool. Now, okay, then let's switch over to CJ for a second.
Okay.
Now, Beast, here's what I see in the Beast, and you tell me if this is something that you've dealt with as well. There's the obvious transformation that the Beast wants to see happen. He wants to go back to being a human. He hates being a Beast. But there's more to it than that. Now, how do you get into character? How do you identify with that struggle?
At first, it was so hard because I know Justin won't agree with me, but I'm not a bad guy. I'm a nice guy. I'm not good at like being a jerk, so like it was kind of hard to get into character in the first place. And like I kind of feel like as the show progressed, like I kind of felt the physicality more. Like, I kind of felt like the stress weighing down on me, and like it's just like
that's cool.
A thing that I kind of feel. And as time goes on, like when he wants to be better, like he tries to be more of a gentleman, that's like when I start to kind of get like
that's so
more
good.
upright.
That's so good.
Yeah, and like
fantastic.
Like right around the time of If I Can't Love Her, that's like when I'm like trying to be upright.
Just so you know, he's changing his posture in the studio.
Sorry,
it's on video.
That.
I can see his facial hair growing.
No, it's fantastic.
As he's explaining.
Well, and that's something too, like, you know, just with his natural speaking voice, you wouldn't think the Beast is coming.
Yeah.
But then, can you turn the Beast on for a second? Turn the Beast.
Justin, can you turn the Beast on?
We have with us here in the studio, the Beast.
You know what? I put that on the wheel. Turn the Beast on.
I'm trying to think of like a conflict.
Tell us,
conflicting
Beast.
like Gaston.
Tell us, Beast. How do you feel about Gaston? Get out!
Ooh, that's like completely.
You know, it's
Like I was gonna say,
like 2 drops just came out.
and we
he peed his pants.
And
that should be on the wheel.
and we reverb, you know, his microphone, and it
Resonates throughout the
it's
castle.
so good that you're like, that's so good that you're playing with psychological gesture, that like you're finding this in like the actual stress and tension in your body.
Eric just spun the wheel, and it reads Nuzzle Sean's beard.
Yes.
Sorry, Eric.
Me?
You spun the wheel.
So, how did we wind up going to lowest common denominator? I'm in the middle of psychological gesture.
Because
Nuzzle
Eric had to
Sean's
spin the
beard.
wheel.
I do
didn't know it
believe
said
that
nuzzle, Sean.
you still have to keep going while he nuzzles.
Okay, yeah, let me continue.
What's that,
to
nuzzle?
come over and-
Whatever, turn the Beast on. Just go.
All right, so hold on. My beard is being nuzzled right now.
Nuzzling.
That was fantastic. Anyway,
You haven't lived.
no, but I think that's great that you're approaching this from a place of psychological gesture, and that you're just kind of letting that inform the character. And I think that's fantastic, because one of the things I was going to ask is, it's that conflict thing that we were talking about. Is he accepting it? Has it changed him on an instinctual level? Is he now operating as a beast, or is this a guy trapped in this beast's body? Like, has it affected how he reacts?
Well, basically, what I try to get from the get-go is that at the beginning of the show, he's basically, like, given up, in my opinion. Like, I feel like he's already become the Beast, and, like, I feel like he's kind of having the opposite effect as he's going along. He's trying to get away as he's, like, physically changing more into the Beast, like he's trying to fight it more.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And then I feel like the second act is my favorite of all time, because, like, it's just, like, he's actually, like, showing emotion, like, he's showing that he cares for someone more than himself, and like, that's when I feel like I can be more real, when I don't have to, like, be all angry and yelling at everybody. I'm just like, hey, what's up?
Do you temper the anger? Because I know a lot of actors incorporate anger as yelling, and I'm sure Kelly has told you similar things. But how do you provide that intensity without yelling? Because there is a fine art to anger, and not everyone can do it.
I actually learned this in New York when I was doing this national choir thing. He told me a great way to show anger without yelling is to enunciate, like, really hard consonants. Like,
Yes.
As a parent, I can attest to that.
And like
I concur, sir.
I did have a huge problem with yelling while doing it because like she's just like, you sound like Batman right now. That was a big problem.
Just the beast come from city.
That was like my biggest critique that I needed to fix. Like that was.
I am Beast Man. Boy, that was Dr. Claw. Sorry.
Dr. Claw. Oh my gosh,
That's
Inspector
great.
Gadget reference
you, Beast.
out of nowhere.
So does, and with Belle, so obviously she's dealing with this like raging thing that uses explosive consonants, and that's terrifying. Where are you finding what in her says I'm not afraid of this thing? Because I'm pretty brave. I once punched a swan in the head that was trying to attack a 3-year-old. I'm not afraid. I'll fight a swan right now. I boxed open class for like 3 years and was a bouncer. And if it was a giant beast, I'd be like, yes, sir.
If it was a giant
But if it was a giant swan,
If it was a giant swan, I'm not even worried about it. That's right. That's
Starring
right.
Bjork on
With
Broadway.
2 quarters.
He punched.
I'll fight Bjork
Wait.
right now.
You punched Bjork?
I'll fight Bjork and Pink, and it's like right now.
Man.
I'd
Put that on the wheel. Fight Bjork and Pink. Put it on the wheel.
Put it on.
Anyway, but seriously, I'd love to hear your answer on this. So the question is, what in her? Why isn't she afraid? What
Pink is texting
makes
me.
her
Hold on.
realize that he's not. You know.
Okay. Well, Belle obviously shows fear, but there's so much like more to it. When she first like says, "Take me instead," like to save her father, she's very Belle's a very confident character. I feel like, so she doesn't show fear directly to the Beast. In some ways, when Beast goes crazy and starts yelling,
She puts
"I'll
up a
rip out your
brave
hair,"
front, right.
but she's very brave at the front. But I feel like the moment when she sees the good in Beast is when there's the wolf chase and Beast comes and saves her.
It's a
And
tiring
that's like
scene.
the moment when she sees the good in the evil person.
And you know something, it's funny because you guys have mentioned earlier that this is your first lead and your first major full-length show that you've done. You guys are talking like seasoned veterans, and if this is a testament to the type of talent that's going to be on Coronado's stage, then it's going to be quite a show. We're talking with Coronado High School's cast of Beuaty and the Beast that's opening April 24th. You need to go and get your tickets now because I'll tell you right now, Beuaty and the Beast has a tendency to bring out the droves of people who love a good story.
And it's great family show.
It really is. Showtixforyou.com is where you can get your tickets. We do have to take a quick break and we'll be right back after this.
Were you at State?
Yes.
Did you guys attend my workshop?
I did. I don't. Were you at State?
State? No, I did regionals.
That's fantastic. I thought, that's awesome. Did you enjoy
your
it?
class is the best class. I did your class last year too, and I will always remember those ensemble workshops.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Thank you very much. I have a strange question for you.
Yeah.
Have you been a local your whole life?
Yes.
Okay, you were born here. When you were little, did you live on the other side of town?
I've lived in the same house my whole life. I live on Wigwam in Valley today.
You know her?
No, like
He's incredible
what
at
is your last
remembering
name?
faces.
Richards. No, it's the name.
Her mom
Danica
look very similar too. So
Yeah.
Okay, well, no, when here's why, and it can't be you because this is on the absolute wrong part of town. I used to work in a daycare, and one of the little girls who looked brown hair, same coloring, was named Danica Richards. And
What?
Wait,
but it was like
what daycare was it?
it was Angel Daycare is the name of the daycare. It was on the
I
wrong
rarely
part
have
of
a
town.
camera.
Like unless your mom was willing to drive across town.
I had one
I went
here,
to a
but it was a
daycare-
cheap
I went to
one,
see
so-
Academy, which is
you
far
bought
away
another
from me,
one?
but I don't think that's
So not, I mean, there's
I was
always
just
been
thinking,
angry, but that's why there was a little bit of me that was like, if
had this
I
one
took
for a
care of
while.
you when you were a baby, that's just
And I
gonna
got
be
that
I
weird.
don't know.
I'm gonna feel really old, first of all, and then second, I'm gonna be like,
Groupon.
reunion!
That's
But
really
I'll be old.
interesting. I'll ask my mom. I mean, my
That-
mom worked on like
that was a
different
Oh, yeah,
side
thank
of
you,
town,
Chris.
So maybe she dropped me off there.
I don't know how
Maybe
many guys
that's
can
good.
stay.
And I've got room.
It
I've
was
got
called
room
Angel
for
Daycare,
one
and it
more.
was
I don't know
like,
how long
like
They can stay, but you're welcome to
Nellis
stay as long as you want.
area.
You have curfew?
Danica, how long can you stay? Can you stay
I
until
can.
midnight?
I'm 18 now, so
Yeah.
I can stay.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're cool.
I probably should let my parents know, but I think that's fine.
Ah, screw your parents.
It's okay.
we
Hi,
met
guys.
for the first time too at Master of the House.
Oh my
that's
gosh.
right, yeah.
Really?
He doesn't remember. He's not that good with
This
faces.
is so-
He's like, who's this guy?
What?
Gabe,
Wait, give me a second. Yes, I do remember
I
because
brought you
you
back.
took me back to
the
Cheryl.
cast members are like
And I told
tweeting,
you
like, listening
that
to Dan
stage
and
managing
CJ
is a
on the
thankless
air.
job, didn't
think
I?
it's
I'm not a
Awesome.
stage manager either. Like,
Gabe
I was
and
for that
Megan
show,
are
but I
listening
just.
to it. We're like,
Don't.
But didn't I say that
Gabe
to you?
and Megan.
I want
Okay,
Ava
see?
to
I'll do
it.
it. I'll do a shout out. Gabe, Megan, and Ava.
Gabe, Ava, and Megan. Yes.
But they
Wait.
right now.
They're like tweeting me and talking to me.
They,
Like, "You're doing
they
good."
found the AM channel. Teenagers found the
Oh, and
AM
Kevin
channel.
Jordan.
Oh,
My-
Meadows kids listen to the show. I found
My
out.
girlfriend is listening from New Jersey.
Awesome.
And Meadows kids are regular listeners.
Yeah.
Apparently, when I brought up
20
Yeah,
seconds.
now that we're on at 10, we can be like the rebels because they can stay up
Say it again?
late. Now that we're on at 10
Yeah.
regularly, they can be rebellious and stay up. No, Mom, I'm listening to theater talk. Theatre.
but yeah,
Those
because we talked about the production of Our
Tune
Town.
in.
And Tim said when we talked about Our Town that all of his kids were like,
Here we go.
and then I said it was good, and they were happy.
And there was light.
And then there was rejoicing.
You guys can't even hear that, can you?
Ah, that was all
Oh, you heard that?
Oh, and we're back. Thank you for tuning into Curtain Call. Like we said earlier, this show runs every Sunday, and we are now going to be regularly scheduled for the 10 p.m. to midnight slot every
Yeah,
Sunday.
we're moving up in the world.
So we are moving up, and it's gonna be we're gonna feel quite regular.
When you get to be our age, it's nice to
it's
feel
very
regular.
important that you're regular. I'd like to give a shout out to
Prunes
Gabe,
with hair
Ava,
color.
Megan, and Kevin who are listening over at Coronado. Just saying, holla! You know, because they were just saying they're tweeting about it, and I've never been tweeted on Curtain Call before, so.
Hashtag Curtain Call with Erik Ball.
Hashtag Curtain Call! Oh, we can be hashtag!
You know what? I'd love to tell you what I think the past tense of tweet is, but I can't.
And
So,
tweeted. Anyways,
tweeted,
and
that's-
holler to Meadows High School Theater Program, who I know occasionally drop by and listen. And who do you have listening in New Jersey?
In New Jersey, my girlfriend Kate Needler is listening.
What time is it in New Jersey?
And I'd like to give a shout out
3
to
in the morning.
my friends in Cuba, Beyonce and Jay-Z.
I'm going to let you finish. I just want to
I'd
say.
like to give a shout out to Maggie Wheeler because we're friends. We hang out.
Now, Maggie Wheeler and I hang out.
We kick it.
Yeah.
No, I hang out more than you do.
You totally do.
Which
but,
is true,
but-
yeah.
So,
It's really
shut up.
true.
I have her number in my cell phone.
I
Cellular
have it on
device.
speed dial.
You know what? She's
I used
in
to have
like
Justin
5.
Bieber's number.
Justin.
I got a long story on that one, but it was true.
Yeah, and actually, special thanks to Maggie Wheeler, who was the guest celebrity MC at Master of the House
Yeah.
last week. She was fantastic, and oh, what a night was our guest performers. And that's a great group. They do a great job. So
Yeah, if you guys
Support
didn't come
them.
out and see Master of the House, like keep an eye out for it.
For next year.
Ear out for it next year
And
because it will be back.
And also, I do want to make mention to what is coming up next. I'm kind of partnering with Cheryl Rudiger and the Rudy Foundation and Motion Properties, Jared Weiss and Motion Properties. And the three of us are putting together another showcase that's going to happen in September. And it's open to all high school aged students. And it is a singing competition. It's an individual singing competition. It's not a group singing.
We're gonna have
It's
like
an
the
individual.
chair thing,
It's going to be our version of kind of like an American Idol.
but not the voice where you're gonna be like sitting in a chair and
Well, we
spinning
haven't-
around
we
like
haven't-
Shakira.
We haven't got the recliners yet, so we need to. But it's
Gonna
called
be
the event is
computer
called
chairs.
Above the Belt, and Above the Belt is basically the only Las Vegas high school singing scholarship showcase. And what it is, we're going to treat it very
Hashtag.
similar. Hashtag curtain call. We're going to treat it very similarly to like American Idol, where there's like 3 days. And the first day you come in, and there's going to be like 5 cities in different locations on campus, and you go and you audition for a panel of 3 judges in one of the 5 cities. You can randomly be assigned. And if you make it past that cut, you'll come back the second day, and everybody who enrolls gets to participate in the workshops and stuff like that. But the second day, we've whittled it down, and you have to go through another round. And then the third day, we'll whittle it down to 12 people. And those 12 people will then in turn do a showcase where we'll have a panel of judges that'll adjudicate them. They'll work on a group number that they'll do, and the audience is even going to get a chance to vote. So
You're gonna get a whole bunch of those little
we
hand
are,
clickers.
and we're going to have a single person who's going to win a $2,500 scholarship. We're going to work with them on building their own single that's going to go on iTunes. and they get to be a judge in the following year's Above the Belt competition. And this is the coolest part. I'm sorry, everything is really cool, but this is the coolest part. You know how in Master of the House we have the Master of the House blazer? Well, the Above the Belt trophy. Oh yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Popular.
I think it's very pimpy. Anyways, the pimpy. It's a word.
I like that.
It's like
Hashtag pimpy.
hashtag pimpy.
Yo,
But the-
dog. We
The
hear you like to have a gold jacket and a gold jacket, so you put a gold jacket in a gold jacket so you can master the house while you gold jacket. No?
anyways,
Hot
the
pocket.
trophy.
It's like a hot pocket.
Hit the bell.
They stole. There you go.
Anyways, the trophy for Above the Belt is an actual like
Chastity
wrestlers
belt.
championship belt.
It's not a chastity belt.
It's not a chastity belt. Why do you always gotta go?
Awesome.
CJ has to nuzzle my beard.
Nuh-uh. Read it.
Glenn's
Name
beard.
change.
Glenn's beard, yes!
CJ has to nuzzle
Come on
Glenn's
over.
beard.
Okay, this
Come on
is-
over.
Let's
Come
make
on
this
over
happen.
and
Anyways,
nuzzle
before
that
hang on,
beard.
before you
Danica,
nuzzle,
don't
before you
touch the
nuzzle,
wheel.
before you nuzzle.
Touch the wheel.
Anybody who is a high schooler who loves to sing, go to abovethebeltlv.com. In the upcoming month, we should have lots of information. This is a great opportunity for you not only to get exposure, but also, because we're going to try to get like a record executive there. So, but also just to kind of showcase your
Hurry
talents.
up. I want my beard nuzzled.
Abovethebeltlv.com. More info to
I
come.
want my beard nuzzled.
Come on over here. We'll do this. Be
Get the
totally.
camera. Are you on the right
I'm
camera?
already to bro hug it. Yeah.
Just nuzzle, there.
Nuzzle.
Oh,
yeah. Oh.
So good when it
Now
happens.
you get and with the nuzzle
Can you
gets
feel
free
the love
tickets to-
tonight?
There you go. Yeah.
If you're just now tuning in, we're talking
My beard gets free tickets.
one for you and one for your beard.
Awesome.
C.J. Danica and Justin Goldman, they're all a part of Coronado's upcoming musical, Disney's Beauty and the Beast, which opens April 24th and runs through May 3rd, 2 weekends. The best bet is to go to Showtix for You. That's show, T-I-X, the number 4, the letter U.com, and just kind of put in Coronado High School.
They are on sale now.
They are on sale now, and guys, just having been in the show myself and having directed the show myself, I'm going to tell you, I don't care how cozy you are with the routine of buying tickets for high school productions. Beauty and the Beast sells tickets like hotcakes. You're going to want to get your tickets early, and you want to get them now. And I know the kids over at Coronado and Kelly Burrows and Evan Litt, and this is going to be a quality production.
Yeah, and we want to clarify that if you're buying tickets for Beauty and the Beast and they're more than $20, you're buying them for the wrong show.
Yes, we are very
because they're $8
general
admission up to
showtips,
$12 for
$12 on
signed.
Well, kind of
for
break it
assigned
down for us
seat.
again, because it was $8 if you buy it early.
Yes, so
Break it down.
never doing that again. So we are at 8 tickets for general admission on Showtix, $10 at the door for general admission. For assigned seating, it is $10 on Showtix, 12 at the door, and the matinee on the 27th is $7 on Showtix and 8 at the door.
It's fantastic.
So
And I'm looking forward to it. I don't get a chance to see a whole lot of high school productions, but I have been very impressed with ones I've seen in recent past. So, and I've never had a chance to see anything at Coronado. So, all I've gotten to see is my daughters lately up in Beuaty.
well, and I don't want this person to go unspoken of, but our vocal director, Eric Fleischer, he's also the choral director at Coronado High School, is amazing.
Eric Fleischer,
Eric
props to
Fleischer, you know, I mean, everybody, the production team, myself, Kelly Burrows, Evan Litt, Eric Fleischer, and then our sound guru, Evan Schmalz.
That's awesome.
Killer last name.
Yeah.
Schmalzy.
Now I've got a question because, and I'll just ask you, Eric, because in the high school programs you have all the different departments, and it would be awesome if you could like get the band to be incorporated and do the live performance.
Which is what we do.
Is it really?
Yeah.
And can I tell you something?
Okay, but do you get the choir teacher involved as well?
No, not so much in ours. We're trying to get to the point where, and there's
Like a
I
Mr.
would say-
Holland's Opus thing where like everybody comes in.
I remember when I was in high school at Tecumseh High School in Michigan, in the middle of a cornfield.
Show us on the hand.
We had this.
Show us on the hand.
It's down here. It's down here.
Okay.
Anyways, I remember that we had this thing called the Collage Concert, and the Collage Concert kind of brought all the worlds together. It was a choir festival, it was a band concert, it was an art gallery, it was also the main stage for acting, and choreography. It was crazy, and it was lots of fun. And one theme one year was Phantom of the Opera, and everything we did was Phantom of the Opera, and we basically rebuilt the show. But and that would be fantastic. I'm finding as we live in the and this is a broader topic, maybe for an entire show one time that we can talk about. But I'm finding that as we launch ourselves further and further into the age of digital technology and the means by which to create music ourselves, people who have not a clue how to read music are creating music now on computers. And it's really, really interesting how accessible and easy it is to come across the needs by which to put on a musical. And likewise, I'm finding on the flip side, musicians, it's very hard financially or otherwise to employ musicians to put in a supporting position like that.
Well, especially in this kind of theater.
In that type of theater.
Well,
and I'm going to go on the record, I'm not going to call out the high schools, but I will say that I know of 2 high schools very specifically in the last 3 weeks that I know of that their pit orchestra quit. And I was just going, how does a high school pit orchestra quit? Is that maybe I thought is not allowed? I mean, for crying out loud. Huh? And so it's a really sad state of affairs. And look at community theater. I mean, as a director in the community, I'll tell you right now, it's less, and I'm saying this with the most respect to musicians, because I'll tell you right now, I have the utmost respect. To have a live orchestra is, in my opinion, the preferred method to do a musical. Okay, I'll say that. However, it's very, 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 very expensive. Yes. And to plop down $1,500 for a complete set of tracks and then never have to worry about people not showing up or whatever, it's really
and not having the time to work, because usually with the live
it's definitely a
you don't have the time to work with a live orchestra.
It's hard. It's very, very hard. It's a hard state of affairs that we are in.
It's a hard not.
So when you have a live orchestra like this, it's a privilege.
We do have and I miss someone in the production team, Ben Frankie. He is our band conductor.
Awesome.
But we have a 35-person pit.
That's awesome.
That we actually built because our school is not equipped with a pit, so we actually had to build an extension.
That's awesome.
Over the side of our house.
That's cool.
And
you just took off the roof and you
they
dangled from the ceiling.
That was an option, but
look at that chandelier. It looks like trombones.
They're doing it like Blue Man Group, where they're velcroing them to the walls.
No, but it really is. It's very. It's a unique. It's getting to be to where if you get a live orchestra, it is an exception.
Well,
because it's not the norm anymore.
And what we did too is because we participated in Master of the House, is we actually recorded our band playing our track.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And that's why when we were looking back through the adjudications, one of the judges had scored us low, and we were laughing like.
We played the recording for you, Judge.
Yeah, we actually played it, like we didn't, but our actual live orchestra, our live pit actually played it and recorded it, and it was awesome. I mean, and the work that Mr. Ben Frankie does with these kids, I mean, 35 kids, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
well, and
it's
can
amazing.
I just say, I'm going to take my hat off to any high school musician that spends time working on a musical, because that's the other side of things that a lot of people don't know, is that when they have to work on a musical, 9 times out of 10 it's after school. Yeah. Right. It's not part of the curriculum. It's not part of what they work on every single day.
They do audition.
So it's very hard. So in answer to your question, Glenn, I look forward to the day that Faith Lutheran can employ every single department of the fine arts program.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and in my mind, that's how it should be. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I would even love to see it in the local theater, because they're always reaching out and paying, professionals, which is great. But as a professional actor, I'd like to get paid too. What about, incorporating high school band students? Because there are some talented high school musicians, and doing that sort of same thing.
Going back to what Erik said, is I'm not employed by the school district. I actually get paid out of the theater budget. Mm-hmm. I just had to get the certification as a fine arts coach, because after X amount of times being in the school...
You didn't have to have a background check?
No, that's what I'm saying. You had to, after... I think it's like...
Here's your tambourine and 3D glasses. Now you're certified.
With the school district, it's the coaching...
Yeah, if you're interacting with the kids, well, it's actually been extended to 5 times with the kids.
Wow, good.
A year. If you're interacting more than 5 times a year, you have to get the background check and all this
What
stuff.
is qualified as interacting with?
If you're in their presence, if you're there at a
As a teacher, as an
So,
instructor.
so if you go in as like maybe a one-off, you go and do a workshop. That's
and you can
fine.
do that, yes.
But
anything
if you do it more than
yeah.
now, can you do that with multiple kids? Like
Okay.
Like if I were, I've done workshops at schools, but if I were to do different schools, if I were
I think
to do,
it's different schools.
Okay.
You're okay. But that's what I'm.
Yeah, it's for each school and each program. It's a very unique challenge putting up a show of any kind. I find that I'm constantly trying to keep a forward momentum with the talent and the enthusiasm and the passion of my students.
Right.
I always have to throw them a curveball to keep them challenged.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So it's like, for this, let me tell you, Beauty and the Beast has many a curveball, my gosh. So I sincerely hope, do you suppose it's going to be, at the end of the day, it's going to be just as rewarding as it feels now? I mean, are you eagerly anticipating opening night and the festive? Because here's the thing, there is nothing in this world more satisfying than going out into the lobby after a show and having a 4-year-old
Oh my
revere
gosh.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing
except
more...
a good mutton, lettuce, and tomatoes. The mutton is nice and lean.
Well, and I think and as a room full of actors or technicians or directors or what have you, it's the process. So you start and it's fresh with the rehearsals.
Right.
And once it starts to get a little tiring, you throw costumes into the mix and you throw lights into the mix, and then you have opening.
Mhm.
And then opening is this high, and then you do your show, and then closing is such a bittersweet moment. But then you get that.
It'll never
It'll never.
Well, and it's a different experience because you're still both in high school, and you have those because you're around your castmates most of the day.
Yeah.
Whereas when it comes to when you get out, when college will be different as well. But for Sean, myself, Eric, when we're doing theater in town. You don't necessarily see them every day. Doing Tony and Tina's, there's
I'm
like
lucky
50
if I can
people.
get my cast to show up to a rehearsal.
Yeah,
Right.
getting everybody.
Cuckoo's Nest, are you listening?
Welcome to community theater, my God.
But it's a unique experience because in theater there's always a bonding that occurs.
Yeah.
But you guys have that in such a way that the ending of it's going to be more difficult than when we finish shows and we're like, thank God that's over.
Well, and what Kelly tries to do too with the kids is they do a prayer circle at the opening of every night, but what they do is they divide it up. So freshmen start it, and then as they get to the end, I believe it ends up with seniors the last night.
Oh, jeez, that's emotional.
Yeah, so it's definitely but it helps so that the seniors actually get their moment.
Everybody
And
go back and
that's
touch
so
up their
beautiful
makeup.
because
Yeah, pretty much.
I actually, Danica and I talked during one of the breaks that I had the privilege of having her in one of my workshops at this Nevada State Thespian Conference, and that's what we talk about in it is creating theater, the heart, actors taking care of each other in the instant, and just really investing and loving each other, and it's so much great stuff comes out of that. And earlier, I mean, I know Glenn was just joking, but I loved that when Glenn made a joke about you'll hate being in the ensemble, and Eric was like, that's arguable, and because that's like, I'm all about ensemble.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know, like, you guys are either going to love or hate me, because I'm always the one that's like, let me get into the souls of my guests, right? So, I want to know... Tell Coach to pick up his phone?
Yes.
Okay, I'll tell him in a moment. But
He's
I
listening.
want to know from you guys, with theater, the show aside, this is a two-part question. The first half is, what made you decide to do theater? How long have you been doing it? What made you decide to do theater? And sub-question, do you want to continue on doing theater? Is this your goal? Do you want to be
Cody,
actors?
sir.
Okay.
Not much.
Danica was back earlier. She pushed her.
I love this question.
Danica pushed her hair back in preparation for the question.
And you can view the archives on YouTube because she just did it again and I have it on camera. So.
That's a great question. So, I mean, I was in singing lessons, dancing lessons when I was 7 years old, but I was a dancer. I was in competition dance. I was on the dance team my freshman and sophomore year. I was doing little shows with my dance studio, like Into the Woods. But I was a dancer, 100%. And then I've always been obsessed with musicals. Like my whole family, we always go see all the LBA shows and all the community
shows.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And
I believe she rolled her eyes.
No,
I believe. No.
I rolled mine.
It was so good. Okay, but then my sophomore year, we were doing Lucky Stiff, and a couple of my friends were like, "Hey, you should audition." So it was totally spur of the moment kind of thing, and I caught the bug, and I have been in love with theater ever since. I got cast as Dominique Monaco in Lucky Stiff, and just
The sparkly curtain.
yeah, just like curtain opening and the ensemble, and my heart's pounding so fast even thinking about
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
So, and then the part 2, the sub question.
Sub-question.
Sub-question.
Article 2, subsection A, paragraph 3.
This one gives me like stress marks.
Which you can also see on the archives if you want.
I want to do theater for the, yes, I do. I would, but I'm going to a university, but it was funny, like, this year I was like, I'm going to be straightforward, I'm going to go to university, I'm going to become a doctor or a lawyer. Yeah, no, that's not happening. Like, I realized, I had this, like, epiphany, like, when we were doing performances in my theater class, that I have to be on stage. It's like, I just have to. I'm going to get, like, all emotional. And so...
No, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because I've been a big believer, and I tell my students all the time, I said, if you don't do what you're passionate about, you're going to kind of, like, be resentful to your life.
My girlfriend Kirsten says, follow your bliss. And Danica, if I may, that's one of the things that I say to my students all the time. I coach privately, and they say, do you think that I can be a professional actor? And the first thing I say to them is, if there's anything else that you love to do more than this, do that. You have to give everything to this art.
Right.
If you neglect this art for a day, it will neglect you for 2. And here's the thing, though, is that you will have people tell you that you cannot make it, that you cannot succeed, that you will not be a professional actor. And those people are wrong. They're dead wrong. Because if you put your heart and your soul into it, and you invest yourself into it, and you put the work in, you will work. If you ask any working professional in this room or otherwise, if it is difficult to become an actor, they will tell you it's not difficult, it's just hard work. And there is a difference between difficult and hard work. If you're willing to put in the work, you will work. So calm the butterflies and just know.
If you love the work, then you are ahead of the game right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
gotta
will
love the work.
And someday
matter
you two
what.
can host an AM radio at 10 p.m. on
No
Sunday.
matter, what you want to do is what I do for a living. So I'm telling you from someone who's and it does happen, and it's not difficult. It's just a lot of work. If you put in the work, you will work. So that's the most important thing that I can tell you is that, when people tell you, go back, become a lawyer, become a doctor, if you do not love that more than you love theater, then you need to be an actor.
Yeah.
That's the end of it.
There's no better feeling than being on stage, and just the feeling, I don't know, there's nothing that compares.
Oh, I have a
Thank you for letting me get very passionate about that.
CJ's in between them going, wow, this is, I'm the next, this Danica.
CJ, you're next, buddy.
Well, do you know where you're going?
Well, yeah, I'm going to University of Utah, but they have a musical theater program there, and they have a big community theater-based thing there. So I have to get involved.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then-
you'll get involved.
Yeah.
Danica, I saw one of the best productions of Cabaret I have ever seen at U of U.
Really?
Yes, far and away. I'll tell you about it in
Oh, that
between.
makes
Yeah, we do need to take a quick break. I hate to
And
do
we'll
this,
come back
but
to
we have
CJ.
to take a break, and we will come back, and we'll put CJ on the spot with the same question. Plus, I need to talk to Kaj, because if you aren't following...
Well, you didn't spin the wheel to talk to Kaj.
No, we're going to leave this alone because this is way more important than the silly wheel here.
Over
at Faith Lutheran, I don't know if you guys know or not, but we're getting geared up for Legally Blonde, the musical, and our dog that was playing Bruiser has gone missing at one of the rehearsals.
And the understudy.
Oh no.
And no, I didn't talk about the understudy, but he's gone missing. Yeah, and Kaj, our man on the street, says that he has information.
I have a German Shepherd.
No, it's not about a German Shepherd. He said that he saw a Bruiser sighting. He has a Bruiser sighting. He saw him. So as soon as we come back from
Wait, is he watching the DVD again? Because that doesn't count.
No, I hope not. I hope that's not.
We're just gonna have to go and find out. We're just gonna have to find out.
So hang tight. I hope maybe Kaj has, because I've been heartbroken ever since my little Bruiser.
When you can't use a pool either.
I don't know what to do. My Bruiser is gone.
Oh, cut to commercial. Just cut. I'm turning the camera off of you.
David Loud.
We should just ruin the whole thing.
Get the book Acting Professionally by Robert Cohen.
Okay.
Brilliant book.
What is it?
Ah, welcome! We just were talking about you.
I don't even know that
Oh,
one.
thank you.
It's
Wait, what is it called?
acting professionally. And
Acting
then there's
professionally.
Because I have no idea how to do that.
Did you say there was
in,
a
Truth and Comedy is another good one for improv. Truth and Comedy.
Yeah, Truth and Comedy is a good one. Viola Spolin, improvisation for the theater is the Bible.
Improvisation.
Yeah, Viola Spolin is the basic.
He is so sweet.
She was doing theater games for students, and it became so popular it ended up becoming the second city. Her son was actually one of the first that actually created the second city.
I'm
I'm
sorry. It is a terrifying book.
Forget it.
But it is an important. I consider it to be the quintessential text for someone that really genuinely, all of my students, it is mandatory reading. He's going to spend the first half of the book telling you all the reasons that you will not succeed, that you're going to fall flat on your face, that you're going to fail, that you suck, you suck.
David.
The second half of the book starts off.
Robert Cohen, is that his name?
Yeah. This is what you need to do.
Why have I never heard that book?
And,
in 20
He does
years.
a lot of, Cohen does an awful lot.
Acting one is like a.
Oh, I never took an acting
Robert
class.
Cohen always has like a new volume.
David just texted me.
Spelled normal, and then Cohen, C-O-H-E-N. In that book, I cannot recommend that. I cannot stress that enough. It will be very.
You don't
important
happen to have the
He's going to
libretto
break down
yet
what
for
you need to do, how
your
you
production
paper your
next
resume,
Summer?
who you get it to.
Yeah.
I have a
how you pick your
script
agent.
with the
Because it's
vocal
like-
book.
it's
I don't have the.
Because I have the piano conductor score and
Yeah, I think it's
I'm
about
going
and
to review very quickly.
Yeah.
I
because I'm starting. I'm wanting to read up for next summer.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get you that. You didn't get it from me, but
No,
I don't know.
No.
no, it's
Yeah.
If I mention the name Paul Draper on him, he perks up his.
I didn't say what the name of it
profound
was,
Respect
Eric.
for the man. Paul it to you. So yes. So and honestly, it doesn't. Your training matters somewhat. Grad school doesn't matter more than undergrad. Okay.
30 seconds.
That's where you're really going to kind of make your your contacts. But I'll tell you about cabaret performance, and I'm excited to hear what you have to say as well.
Thank you so
I
much.
know that there's a million ways. So if you're
Death.
like, no.
Death is the number one killer of women.
say it again.
Death is the number one killer of women.
Nice.
Just figuring out how to word it so I don't.
Boredom is second.
Evan, this is fun too. This is so
that's
fun.
what
Secret, is it?
What?
Death.
I was so glad that we asked that question because Eric and I just like turned into like total like passionate teacher mode. We were like, which is awesome. We're going to
You're doing
college
great.
for a bruiser sighting.
Why is it random? I need to fix that camera. It's like it's going like this. So pretty soon it's just gonna be, That's right. I'm not important.
Welcome back. Now, here's the thing, y'all. If you haven't been following closely, like I know you all are, to the Faith Lutheran Railroad, you're pressed to the Faith Lutheran High School railroad track. You know that the next
you guys
train
get a
is
railroad
coming.
track?
It's in the monorail. It doesn't really work. How quick was that? The next train that's coming is our big main stage musical of the year, Legally Blonde, the musical.
Wells Fargo bracket.
Now that's this summer. May 3rd through May 12th. FaithTheaterCompany.com is the website that you go to if you want tickets for that one. But here's the thing, the dog that we've been using in rehearsal that was going to be playing Bruiser went missing during rehearsals. one day, and we were all very heartbroken, and we've been looking for Bruiser.
And this is a real dog, not a
this is
stuffed.
I've been searching.
Yeah, it's a Chihuahua. We've been searching. There's been lost dog posters all over campus. In fact, you can go to lostbruiser.com. That's a website we set up because we can't find Bruiser, and we sincerely hope that Bruiser shows up before opening night. But I want to go to the man on our street.
Oh, Kaj, he's here, and he called in, and he said that he knows he has a Bruiser sighting or something. Kaj, are you there?
Yeah. Am I on? Good.
You're on now, but tell us, please give me hope.
Yeah,
my friend.
Eric is shaking like Bruiser.
Oh, all right.
Like a chihuahua in the wind, I'm waiting with bated breath.
All right. Well, what I was doing, I was actually doing a night photo shoot over at the Venetian. And I was taking some pictures of some of the Artista Arte, the streaming center that's over there. All of a sudden, I see this chihuahua kind of walking through St. Mark's Square, and I took some pictures, and I looked, and I'm like, is that Bruiser? I think, and I kind of followed it a little bit, and I called out its name, and I looked back at me, and then all of a sudden, it just sprinted off. And I tried to keep up with it, but I couldn't keep up with it.
Was he chocolate brown?
It was what?
Was he chocolate brown with a little white bib?
Yes, that was him.
That was him. He was part Italian. That makes sense that he's at the Venetian.
Oh, nice, awesome. Yeah, I totally. Yeah, he looked fine. He was just kind of just trotting along, like going along on his own thing. And then once I called his name, he looked back, but then he darted afterwards. I couldn't get.
Wait, now was this on your gondola or?
Oh no! I was thinking we also have like a traveling streetmosphere. They dress in Renaissance garb and they sing some Italian songs, and I was taking pictures of them when I saw Bruiser.
It makes so much sense. He loves Italian music.
He does. He loves Italian music. Yeah. He usually goes to the when he wants to like unleash things, he just goes to the Venetian.
Unleash.
That's
what happened in the first place.
This is very, very upsetting because we've been seeing him all over the city. Maybe he just needed a vacation or something, but we hope. In the meantime, before we open, Legally Blonde at Faith Lutheran on May 3rd through May 12th. Go to faiththeatercompany.com for tickets.
If I see him and you're in town, I'll let you know.
I need you to go to lostbruiser.com, and you'll see where we have a map up there of where we've seen Bruiser. We have Bruiser sightings, and oh gosh, I hope he shows up before opening night.
I'm pretty sure he auditioned to be the Beast. I'm
maybe
sure that description. I'm pretty sure we saw.
Maybe Bruiser will show
Well, maybe we should call Kelly Burrows. Maybe she's holding him hostage so that sabotaging your show.
Well, Kaj, thank you. You are a gentleman and a scholar, and we're spinning the wheel for you, Kaj. And this is what you need to do. You need to call. Well, you need to call Evan now. Okay, so we're gonna have to let you go, Kaj. Thank you. Big love to Michael Close, our man on the street.
And thanks. If I see Bruiser again, I'll make sure that I call you first thing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. Oh my gosh. It's very, very upset. Do we have Evan's number?
Well, Kirsten.
We're gonna call Evan Litz at 11:30 at night.
Is he up?
He has to be up for work at 4 a.m.
Here's CJ's answer while we're trying to get a hold of Evan.
Let's see if it rings.
CJ doesn't get.
Let's see if it rings. Hang on. This is so rude. They have a kid.
That's all right, and he has to be up at 4 a.m.
Oh, please let there be a voicemail. I'd love to leave a voicemail. He's probably listening right now. He's like, no, let it go to voicemail.
You have reached Evan Liz at All Life LLC. Please leave me a message and I'll get right back to you. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Evelyn. This is your buddy LeFou, and I found a scarf in the woods, and you can't have it, but it's pretty nice, huh? Yeah, hope gonna see you over there, Beauty and Beast. Don't get into any trouble now.
And I want you to bring me some pudding.
Good.
Pudding. Bring me a pudding pop and a Coke.
Oh my gosh. All right, that was some fun.
So
nothing like prank calling on
Curtain call.
I know, that's what it's degraded to.
Random.
We're before long, it's just going to be 2 hours of prank calling people. It's just us giggling.
It's almost like they should
Is there
make
a
a show
Seymour
about
there?
that.
Last name Butts?
Well, if you guys are just now tuning in, we are doing nothing but prank calling No, we aren't crank calling, but we were trying to get on the phone with choreographer Evan Litt from Coronado High School's upcoming production of Disney's Beauty and the Beast. And it opens April 24th through May 3rd over at Coronado High School in Henderson. And the best way to get tickets is to go to showtix4u.com. Show T-I-X, the number 4, the letter U, showtix4u.com. And get your tickets early because it's going to... they're going to just... I mean, the tickets are going to become enchanted and walk away. I mean, they really are.
And so to refresh your memory, CJ, the question was... the question was... What made you decide to do theater? When did you start, and what made you decide to start? And what's the long-term goal? Like, is this something you want to continue to do? What's your plan to do with it? And also, how do you get your whites so white? It's remarkable.
Wow.
I just put it in the washing machine.
The what?
No, that's brilliant.
I don't use bleach or anything. It's just
and Sean, I have to say that was very parental. What are you going to do with your life?
I'm concerned about CJ.
Well, he was actually he wasn't going to tell Eric this, but his goal of being an AM talk show host.
Thank you. It's a lofty goal. It took me a long time. I started at the bottom of the barrel, and I just started talking to myself in the closet, and then I moved up to the kitchen, and then Mom gave me a spatula, and that was my microphone.
Spatula.
And Glenn and I consider working with Eric at the bottom of the barrel too. So, hey-o!
You know.
Well, I find
you're at the bottom, you need friends.
That's right. So CJ,
there's nowhere else to go but
up. This is going to happen.
Okay, everybody, I'm turning everyone else's mic off.
All right, CJ, fire away, buddy. It's all you.
Okay. Okay.
Yo, dead air. That's great. Dead air. Good.
Okay. So
I'll turn this back.
The thing that happened was the thing that initially got me into wanting to perform so much was a couple of my friends got together and there was like this one show thing where a bunch of people do random musical numbers in front of the whole entire school. It's called Broadway Memories.
Oh, cool.
And they asked me to be in it with them. We were doing like Brotherhood of Man from How to Succeed in Business.
Oh, cool.
And that's what initially like got me into wanting to perform so much. And then Miss Burrows walked up to me at the end of the year and she's like, "You should try to be in theater." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So then I go into theater and then like right away I just love being up on stage. Like I always volunteer first to go up. It's just like it's something that I love to do. And the reason why I wanted to audition for the musical so bad was the Smith Center production of Wicked. I saw it and like at the end of like one of Elphaba Solos, like I saw her face like as the whole audience was cheering. I'm like, I want that feeling.
Right.
Like just like being like,
that
was amazing.
That's awesome.
Like
That's awesome.
just seeing the whole entire audience, and I really wouldn't want to do anything else. It's like an amazing.
That's really cool how it started by a seed that was planted by one comment of one teacher. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
And of course we know Kelly likes to play jokes. So
I gotta
about that, CJ.
I gotta get passionate here. I'm sorry.
Get
I can't help
passionate.
it.
Just wipe off the mic.
So
after
here's
you're
the
done.
thing that's amazing about that for me is that there's a million right ways. There's a million right reasons. And I think that one of the things that you're going to run into that is that honesty about wanting that interaction with the audience. It's cyclical, you know. And one of the things that I learned and that I try to pass on to my students is that in order to disturb your audience's peace, and disturbing their peace isn't always a negative thing. Laughter is disturbing their peace. Joy is disturbing their peace.
Getting them to react is disturbing their peace.
So in order to disturb your audience's peace, you must disturb your own. And so I love the fact that you watched her have this moment where she was reacting to this exchange with her audience and that hit you. Because there's going to be people that will tell you that, you know, that's the wrong reason, that you shouldn't do it for the audience, it's for the craft and blah, blah. There's a million right reasons to do it. And whatever gives you the passion to go forward, that's the right reason to go forward. And the other thing is, and Kirsten will tell you this is something that I've stolen from her, is you have to seize every opportunity that's given you. And don't ever, as you continue on and train, don't ever lose that desire to be the first one up. Don't ever lose that desire to be the one that's going to jump at the chance to learn.
And don't let anyone tell you stop going first. Oh yeah, hey Kirsten.
Hi everyone.
You should have like sounded the trumpet.
They would have known that if they were watching the video archive in the future.
Kirsten occasionally stops in and classes to show up for us.
Yes. The air starts smelling like strawberries and unicorns fly through windows. It's a wonderful thing.
I guess
so,
I don't smell like strawberries, I smell like taxes.
It smells like taxes. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been put through the
A W-2 or a
1099? 1099. No, I feel like theater, being such a personal discipline is
talent, sir.
It's different from learning like math, which everybody has the same rules, and you learn the rules, and you do them, and it's fun, and whatever. But theater, you have to reach out and take all that you can get. You have to soak up every opportunity and take it. And it follows you through your career when you go on an audition, or you, like, I consider an audition, when I give an audition, I go big. I reach out and I take that part. I take it for mine. And I feel the same way about theater education, being a teacher. I want my students at all times, and I just told my students this the last week, to reach out and take the opportunities. I don't ever want to be like, all right, it's your turn to go. I say, somebody get up here, and whoever is hungry for it, man, they reach out and take it.
Yep. Don't ever let that fire get diminished. Keep fueling it, keep giving it, keep getting it oxygen, spread it to him, let it flame. Wow. Stereotypes of
There
theater.
is no try. There is only do or do not.
There is no try.
There is no try. There is only.
Well, and I would like to say, on the acting portion of it, there's also the technical aspect.
Oh yeah.
Going back to Beauty and the Beast, like I said, the entire set and anything that we build there is primarily built by the students.
And can I tell you something, Justin? I'm going to interject. It's important for actors who love to perform to also have an appreciation for the behind-the-scenes elements.
Definitely.
I had a young lady who graduated. She got the lead in several shows. She was Dorothy in Wizard of Oz. She was many, many, many things, and she was wonderful. And for one middle school production, she was sound design. They had to learn the soundboard and everything. She loved it so much that when she graduated, she went into sound design at USC and now works for Disney and does sound design for Disney. And she says, it is just doing the sound design and sitting at the board and creating the sound design is like being a performer, because you have to think like a performer, you have to think like a storyteller, you have to understand and appreciate what that storyteller is going to have to offer.
And you almost need to have a better understanding of the story itself. And
believe me, there's lots of jobs out there for people.
And I'd love to shout out to the kids in the class: Kevin Dortz, Carrie Sue, Jesse Summer, and Autumn Wren, kids at Coronado's who are also in the tech program, and the acting program. They're taking those steps, and that's something that we try and, tell all the kids.
Tech it up, kids.
Bravo techies, man. Bravo to the techies.
And it's a different type of person that does the technical side as well, because there's a feeling as actors that we get on stage when we can feel the audience's reaction, and we absorb that and soak that in, and there's kind of that rush of that. But on the technical side, building the lights, building the sound, it's a different level. There's the pride that's there. What I've done has helped the whole show.
And it's kind of the same support as a pit orchestra member.
Yeah,
because they're supporting the onstage element.
But the individual's not necessarily needing that. They're more secure than actors, because actors are very insecure. That's where I'm going.
One of the things that I think is fascinating about the tech side of it, and why I think it's so important for even someone that's like I never wanted to be a technician. I know how to do the tech side of theater, and I gained so much from it, because every aspect of theater, you approach anything from marketing and building the program, to the technical side, to being on stage, to directing. The entire thing is an exploration in human emotion. Everything. Yeah. How do you get them to interact emotionally with that program? How do you get them to interact emotionally with the bio? How do you get them to interact emotionally with the lights? Everything. And what we do as actors is we get to play with this palette of the most remarkable emotions in the world. And we get to play with the human condition. And so if you know how those things around you are affecting it as well, it's only going to make you richer as an actor. We're not human actors, we're human beings. Learning to play the guitar is going to make you a better actor. Learning to scuba dive is going to make you a better actor.
Not getting the frog tattoo on your ankle
is going to make you a better actor. It's like, I remember seeing Jesus Christ Superstar when it came to town, and there was a moment when when he's singing Gethsemane, and it gets to the point where he's about to hit the note, and he hit the note, and it was great. And I had that moment of like, he hit the note, yay! And then behind him there was this cyc, and this cyc was bright, it was blue, and it turned to red, but it turned to red in this like pulse that happened behind him. Like they lit the center of the cyc in a column, and it swelled to the edges, and it was just this crimson.
Whoa.
And when it happened, I literally, my eyes just brimmed. And I had this visceral emotional reaction to the light change that happened behind him. That's a study of the human condition.
Do you suppose that it was the color red? Let me tell you something. I have a huge conversation about the power of the color red. I'm just saying, you can do an awful lot. That's why when take Master of the House for instance, that's why we took consideration with the lights, because you have no idea how much that changes the mood
absolutely, and I think that red may have had something to do with it, but I think I would have had an emotional reaction to anything. It was the change that accompanied him, and it allowed the emotional moment that he was having to be represented fully across the entire stage. It was this explosion of emotion, and it literally just affected me to my core. So I think that unless you know that that's going on around you and how that's crafted, you can't serve it, and it can't serve you as well. Does that make sense?
And I definitely think it's a two-way street too, in the sense of I auditioned for the drive with Glenn, and seeing him and his girlfriend Kelly's reaction to seeing me sing. I've been in nothing but high school productions as an actor, and just with especially Super Summer's season coming up, seeing the things and just breaking from that norm and trying to come out of that comfort zone is what I'm trying to overcome right now, and actually audition for a show.
Much applause.
But it's definitely something, as a technician, I would push other technicians to try and do, like, don't cut yourself short. I didn't think I could sing until I was thrown into a Broadway Memories my freshman year.
Nice.
Because someone got ill, and it was just that minute, and she said, I heard you sing in the car the other day. And I was like, this was actually Heather Grindstaff at Silverado. This wasn't Kelly Rose, but still, I mean, definitely
takes
one of those
one
moments.
seed planted by one person. That's all it takes.
I mean, that's what it's.
And speaking of seed, I need to plant a seed here and allow the commercials to grow, because we need to take a break, and we'll be right back with more Curtain Call.
Sorry, you gotta take a commercial. I'll tell you after. When we come back, if you don't mind, what I'd love to talk to you about is, because
10 minutes
is my job. But it was amazing to me how much I learned about my craft when I started teaching.
Sweet tomatoes. We believe in
teaching. I'd love to hear you talk about that. Like, if we can bring that up.
Sure.
We've been through that.
Can I tell you something?
I grew as an actor exponentially when I started teaching.
I went to school to be an actor. Okay, I was going to be an actor. That's what I was going to do. I took a job as a...
We can do this story.
What happened?
Good. I mean, finish. But
I was just going to say, and I took a job directing a high school play that I answered in a newspaper. They were looking for a director because the director quit. And I took it, and all of a sudden, my passion for what I was putting into my own craft was kind of reborn when I saw that I was helpful in helping somebody else kind of nurture and discover what their potential could be. So it's kind of like, I thought to myself, I was a C+, B- student all through high school. Why? Because I love the social element of high school, but the studying thing really cramped my style, So it's kind of like, I would have never said I would have been a high school teacher. So I thought to myself, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it in such a way where I'm never going to try to be the best teacher. Never try to be, always learn. This is my code of life right here. 2 things. Every day I got to wake up and I have to learn something new every day. Learn something new, even if it's something small. The other thing is ease somebody else's suffering.
Get up out of bed early.
If I can do those 2 things, then I'm constantly growing, be it in my craft or as a human being. And so I took. It's important to me. It's very important to me too.
Yes. Well, I also found that I learned a ton about being a theater student and learning more, like, from being a teacher.
That's one thing that I regret not doing is actually participating in a theater class. You know, and because my focus was always tech. I mean, I was doing things in Venetian and in Super Summer. I mean, this is going to be the first show that I haven't teched since I've lived in Vegas.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good for you, man.
So,
Yeah,
I mean...
I didn't start acting until after I graduated college, so...
On a brass tacks level, for me, it was like tax. T-A-C-K-S. On a brass tacks level, for me, it was like...
Get away!
It's like
I forgot to deduct the brass!
Well, this person is having trouble with this. And so how do I get them past that? And then I realized that same thing that I was just talking about...
back because there's...
Yeah, this right here, what I'm talking about right now. And I'm like, and how do I get them past that? And then I'm like, I start thinking about like, oh, well, I do that too. And so the advice that I give to that actor, all of a sudden I'm applying to myself.
30 seconds.
You know?
Nuzzle Eric's soul patch. Good God.
I love that it's right next to Fight York and revealing embarrassing facts.
Oh, man.
Well, I'm sure it'd be embarrassing if I had to nuzzle your soul patch.
It's
You like
actually, this isn't a soul patch. Soul patches are
flavor
long.
saver?
This is a jazz nubby.
Jazz nubby.
That's an actual definition of it. Here we go.
See, folks, you
Nubby.
Jazz
Write it
nubby.
down.
learn something new every day.
I'm just gonna write jazz nubby on it.
Playbills and monkeys and playbills and monkeys and...
Jazz nubs.
I love show. Yeah, but we were just talking about how my facial hair is not a soul patch. A soul patch is long. It goes all the way down, extends beyond the chin, and hangs down low. This is a jazz nubby. Thank you very much. Jazz nubby.
Goes with the hat.
That freaks me out. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
I'm sorry, I'm going to totally
We have
bulldog
10
this
minutes,
because
yes,
we're
please
running
bulldog.
on
Because
time.
Sean's got a whole jazz band on it.
If real quick, let me preface it because we're talking to
Jazz band hero.
Coronado High School's cast of Disney's Beauty and the Beast. We have C.J. and Danica. They both play the Beast and Beauty, respectively.
I was going to say they don't both play each.
They don't both
They
play.
switch off,
Anyway, here we go.
yeah.
Sean.
And I just want to say that if you're just tuning in, please go back and listen and watch the archives. I'm going to see if Glenn can get this one up quickly so you can see it before you see the production, because if you hear these two speak and you hear how intelligent and passionate they are about what they do, it's going to make you want to go see the production all the more.
Right.
If this is the
See them apply their
standard,
craft.
if this is the standard for which this cast is going to operate,
I applaud.
you know, it's going to be a fantastic show. Having said that, I'd like to move on, and I'd like to ask our technician, since we have a technician in the room who's crossing the picket line to the side of the actors.
There he comes home.
I want to know, since you've moved to the educational side of things, and we have as well. There's this thing that we found, and I'd love to hear you talk about it. Have you noticed that your craft grows exponentially when you step into the role? Your personal craft grows when you step into the role of a teacher.
You know, as people listening, I mean, Terrence Williams has known me since I first started in the craft, and I work with him now at Absinthe at Caesar's Palace as well, and even Cheryl Rudiger with the Rudy Foundation is even mentioned too, with me being the technical director over there, is just, you know, me being an educator, a fine arts coach, tech instructor, whatever the label may end up being, or is, that first week could have been the scariest week of my life, is standing in front of a group of 30 kids when I was so used to 11 kids in the tech program when I first started doing workshops there. So jumping from 11 to 30 was insane, and having that look of like
You're woefully outnumbered.
You alive, like you know, just like and learning that each student needs a different edge. You cannot teach an entire class in this craft, and I'm assuming in acting as well, as you have to approach each student as a different.
Yeah, and then you hit that moment of like looking at them and going, I've got to figure out how to get them past their hurdle.
Exactly. I have a student, Autumn, who is the stage manager for Beauty and the Beast, who refuses to use power tools. Will look at a saw and go,
She uses like a
no,
regular
thank you.
hand saw?
She would rather use a hand saw and hand paper sand something than use a power tool. And once she used that one tool that first time, it was like you could see the door open and the light bulb turn on and go, oh, look at what I can do now. Or, you know, we actually moved a student up, her name is Taylor, from being a Tech 3 because she's a senior to a Tech 4 at semester because of her, you know, growth in just one semester. And I do this as a moral thing because, like I said, I don't get paid by Clark County School District. I get paid from Coronado's theater budget, and I do this because, to me, and nothing against Kelly Burrows, that the kids wouldn't get the experience that they get with a technician who, and I consider myself a professional technician because but with a professional technician who comes in and actually takes the time. And being at my first year, you know, communication has not always been my strongest suit.
Well, and it doesn't broaden just their skill set; it broadens their appreciation for that skill set.
Exactly, and I try and vocalize that even if you're not taking tech as a career, building things, the basic electrical that you're learning, the basic audio that you're learning.
Can I tell you something? I agree with that more than words because as an actor, you have to be aware. And as a tech, and if you're working in tech, you have to be aware for two different things. Technically, safety in tech, you know, is number one. Safety for the acting element.
Yes.
So you have to not only be aware for what you need to get done, but we have to be aware for others as well. So it's like a heightened sense of awareness. I think it's just a worldly appreciation that everybody needs to embrace.
And that crystalline moment, that beautiful moment of that light turning on, is the greatest thing in the world.
It makes everything worth it. Every stressful day.
It's
awesome.
There's a moment in my workshop where I don't care how many kids are there. I walk around and I make eye contact with every single one of them. And that moment when you see the lights go on, when you see them make that leap in their head, is more gratifying than any role I've ever played as an actor. So it was really so fantastic to hear you guys talk here tonight. So fantastic to be reminded of that passion. And you guys have no idea how important it is for us because I've done 500 performances now of Tournament of Kings, and I need the reminder from you guys about this is something we love to do.
Our cup runneth over now. We're going to go into Monday going, I love you guys. I love you guys.
We're going to be going into Monday in about 3 minutes.
So thank you. And I'm so glad that you guys stuck around for the second hour so that we can get into this side of it.
I need to say a few things here. I want to get this out here. If you have a pen and a piece of paper, get it poised and ready because I'm going to give you some information here. First and foremost, selfish plug. Faith Lutheran is doing Legally Blonde the musical May 3rd through May 12th. To get tickets, go to faiththeatercompany.com. Over at Poor Richards Players is doing Dealer's Choice until April 21st. I believe that's over at the Onyx, is that?
Yes, it is.
Okay, it's over at the Onyx.
Following that is Sean's production
of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which opens the first and second weekends of May.
3rd and 4th, 10th and 11th.
Awesome. Signature Productions over at Summerlin Library and Performing Arts Center just opened Camelot the musical.
They're doing Tech Week or Preview Week first.
I thought. Oh, it's still in previews.
Previews, yeah.
But still, previews you can go in and buy tickets for. It runs until May 11th, and they have shows on Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. SignatureProductions.net is where you want to go to get tickets for that show. It's a great, and it's actually kind of Harold's Signature's return to community theater after about a 1.5 year hiatus. And over at CSN, Phil Shelburne is opening Violet, the musical, April 19th through 28th.
Musical.
It's a great musical.
Jeannie Tesori, who did Shrek.
Yes. And for tickets, go to csn.edu or 651-LIVE, or if you like numbers better, 5483.
Death of a Salesman happening up at Cockroach Theater, I believe, opening the 24th of April.
But the production that I want you to really zone in on is Coronado High School's upcoming production of Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
I thought you were going to say you're in town.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, thank you
April
so much.
24th through May 3rd. April 24th, but it's not too soon, not too late to get tickets. Go online at showtixforyou.com and get your tickets now. It's something that you're not going to want to miss. And I'm going to speak for the entire studio, CJ and Danica and Justin. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. I can't wait to see you in these roles now that I know you as people. You know, it's like, I can't wait to see you play other people and beasts. But I wish you the very best. A million broken legs. Please send our love and care and broken legs to other cast members.
And let's go out on Eric spinning the wheel.
Oh, good Lord, here we go.
Which is better than what I was going out on.
While the wheel is spinning, just one more shout out to Kelly Burrows and Evan Lidd.
Here we go.
Thank you, Kelly Burrows.
I get to fight Bjork.
Yeah! Tune into the video to see him fight Bjork.
I'm going to fight
Kelly. Thank you.
Right.
Going down, Bjork.
Evan, we love you guys.
You and your swan dress and your freaky lyrics.
Thank you very much for all your time.
All right, take it easy. And
Hashtag curtain call with Erik Ball.
Oh my gosh, we're going to get out of here.
Okay, so what is it called when you hear somebody say something and then you start singing music from a show?
Earwig. Megan's like, I know I should be sleeping.
Earwig?
Yeah, you get an earwig.
Okay. Well, because he's like, it was so great getting to know you, and all of a sudden it's like, getting to know you.
Getting to
He's
know
like, he's loving it. Wanting to go to sleep, but tuning into KSHP to listen to all of them.
You got a bunch
Say goodnight, Eric.
now.
Yay, tell them to like our Facebook.
Say goodnight, everybody.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Like our Facebook page, Curtain Call with Erik Ball. Like, or love.
Kelly's going to have me come in